That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah!
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. This is going to be a little A2D review and award show. And then we'll look forward to 2021 with some things as well. So it was supposed to be a round table. I never consider five a round table. Like five, you get down to, you can still sit the square, you can still sit the picnic bench. You know what I mean? That's more of a picnic bench table. So it's not like a round table. Round table means a crew. Was expecting about 10 pieces tonight. We're here with 5. Hey, we're here to talk to you. We're here to give out some awards. That'll be fun later on in the show. Crumb of the year, right? Everybody here, crumb of the day. So, you know, who's up for crumb of the year? That's going to be special. That's a worthy guy. That's a worthy guy. Walk around proud with that award. We'll have our worst moment or moments of 2020, best moments of 2020, and our poll question. Just came up with it after a big Sixers win tonight, and it ties into 2021, and we'll talk about that in a few. But Tom Arnone, Rob Povia, Ryan Brodo, Frank Vespi, Steve Rochelle, everybody out there joining us, welcome in. Happy New Year, soon to be New Year. Soak a few minutes in with us, talk some sports, talk some moments, a lot of weird moments, right? We'll get into all that stuff. Going to be a lot of weird moments, but every show is brought to you by our doc. Make them yours. Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Listen, we're gonna have so many. We have so many little awards. Like comeback player of the year, right? Or comeback of the year, upset of the year, player of the year, coach of the year, surprise, disappointment, worst team, best team. Saddest moment, best thing we saw all year. I mean, I think we can all speak for probably what the saddest moment is. That's probably an easy one for most, but we'll get into all those questions later on. But let's start out talking some Sixers. Patrick Taylor, best moment of 2020 is y'all reaction to the Hurts pick. Appreciate it.
I can't disagree with that. I think all of us were probably equally had our moments were like, what the F? And at the moment, but if you really think about it, you know, in hindsight, considering how the season played out, where would we be without it right now? We'd be left with little excitement at the end of the year right now, outside of the Sixers. So,
yeah, I still don't need that pick ever. I still don't need that pick.
I'm with you, brother. It caused a chain of events that caused the catastrophic damage to this team, this organization.
Yeah, we'll talk about those moments in a few. To our poll, brought to by Ambuck Services, 20% off. Tell them the boys from A2D sent you for all your gutter guards, gutter installations. Ambuck Service has you covered. A 2021 Eastern Conference appearance is happening for the Sixers. Do you agree or disagree? Huge win tonight. Production from everybody. Great. I mean, phenomenal. They played phenomenal defense early on in this basketball game, and it showed that. So this was a big game for this basketball team. One, because you know they've never played well there. I feel like it's another place they get their ass kicked. Toronto was another team they always got their ass kicked by. So to beat Toronto, come back and not just beat the Magic, you know, own them. Ben Simmons hitting a 3, right? And then guys you need to step up, like Tobias, another good night. Joel, a monster night. Seth Curry, a good night, right? You're getting production from so many things, and it's fun to see. It's a 4-1 basketball team. And last year, this time we were talking again about losing to the Pacers. So to go into 2021 with a win, I think it's definitely better than the way we were going last year. Even though a weekend we thought they were still a real good basketball team. But this team definitely wants to play defense. They're talented, and they got guys that can hurt you, and it all starts with Embiid. And when Embiid's getting the basketball and things are running through Joel Embiid, that's what you want. That's what you want. And the new coach, the new coaching staff and everything new with this organization has been a breath of fresh air. And I think it's translated down through these players and the influx of the veterans that are on this roster. Dwight Howard, Danny Green, Seth Curry's of the world. They're big additions to a young team with some guys that have, Joel and Ben that have experience. But more of a young team with Joel, Ben, and Tobias that have experience. So it's a good combination of things. And early on to a 4-1 start, it's absolutely working for the Sixers. So to the poll question, I'm going to agree, but let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Follow, like, subscribe, download. Join the conversation tonight. Enjoy, like I said, enjoy a few minutes with us. Everybody, Happy New Year. And listen, no better way to go. I've been saying it. Sixers are a breath of fresh air to a shit Eagles season. So we needed something in Philly going into 2021 to get us ready for the Fly Guys as well. We needed something positive, and the Sixers playing great basketball to start their year off is positive. Beating Toronto, who owns their ass, and going to Orlando. Listen, every time we're in Orlando, they make shots from, we talk about it all the time, Universal, Epcot, MGM. I mean, they're freaking burying shots from everywhere when we go there, and it's good to be able to go there, stifle them defensively or offensively, right, and be able to beat up on them. That's two big wins that this team last year probably wouldn't have won. And that's credit to his staff, and that's credit to, getting the ghosts out the room, right? If there's any ghosts in the closet that you're scared of, you got to get rid of them, right? And if Toronto's a place or Amway's a place that you don't play well, or teams you don't play well against, the closest thing to a change in a new direction is beating those types of teams, right? And I think everybody can agree with that. Beating those types of basketball teams is what we look for when we're saying, okay, is this team different? Rob Brinkman not able to join us tonight, but said this team has them rock hard right now. That was the exact word. Rock hard. Out of nowhere to me. A text message.
Oh, man.
And I Frank?
Was this at the whorehouse he works at? No. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, man. How do we know we were going to get that drop in here?
It's a shame because a lot of people aren't going to know exactly what you're talking about, Frank, and they're going to take that very literally, but whatever.
We'll play that later.
Yeah.
Yes, whorehouse. They treat you.
Stop. Whoa. Time out.
But he said his team has them rock hard. And he's been a hater of all of it at times. What's up, Donovan? What's up, family? And I agree with him. I mean, watching him, you're impressed. I'm impressed by this basketball team. I'm super excited about them. I can't say enough about when you get this type of Joel Embiid, it just changes everything. It makes life on everybody easier. And I absolutely agree to the poll question, which is a 2021 Eastern Conference Finals appearance is happening for the Sixers. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Chime in. Talk to us about the Sixers. We're going to talk best moment of 2020, worst moment of 2020, crumb of the year. We'll do our A2D Sports Awards. We have all that coming to you. So stay locked in when you can with us. Jump back and forth from whatever you're watching with us. Soak it in. And hopefully we have some more guys come in. And if they don't, screw them. If not, we're going to talk about it. A 2021 Eastern Conference Finals appearance is happening for the Sixers, and we'll talk to the Sixers for like 15, 20 minutes, and we'll segue into some of the other things. But I completely agree. I don't see why not. It's a change of culture, and this team always wanted to play defense, Ben and Joe, but they're even better defenders today. And I'm seeing it night in, night out. Ben Simmons, listen, Markelle Fultz has had a good early start this year, and he made things real hard on them tonight. Real hard when 6'10's up in your grill and it's faster than you. And defense wins games. big win tonight, and I can't say enough about it because I put a lot of emphasis on this game last night, sitting in the same chair, how important this game was down there. And no game early on is that important, but the two we just played are when they're teams that have owned us, bent us over. I mean, Toronto. I mean, listen to me. I mean, Toronto's been our daddy. I mean, Toronto's put us to bed. And literally put us to bed numerous times. They owned us. I don't care. Van Beat, Van Jeek, Van Sleet. I mean, they got names to go around and just kill us nightly. And we were able to beat them. You know, and guys like Terrence Ross and Vukovic and all the guys in Orlando. And Aaron Gordon, they own us. They own us. Feels good. Feels good to go into 2021 with a little feel good. And Frank just took a little sip of some feel good. You know what I mean? Sip some feel good. All right? Soaking in, shimmy with us a little bit tonight. All right? We'd love to have you. Love to have you. Boys, what do you say? You know, I know it's good that, it's good we got all Sixers fans on for this. You know, when we can go a little Sixers after a big win. Because we're around here, we would have had a mixture, obviously. But it's good that we have all 10-9-8ers on here. And, not only what does it mean to you now Robbie's a Cowboys fan, but I mean he's been beat up this year too, so he can relate to this as a football fan. It's like good basketball and coming out hot. What it's meant to the struggles of 2020 for your football team, for all of us, right? Like football means so much to all of us, and thank God, because it could be 1-4. Brett Brown coached basketball team last year is 1-4. You could book that the way they played the first half of Toronto. They ain't winning that game. They probably lose the Washington game. They won. All right. I can pick out losses. Freaking excited. Let's go. Go beat them.
Oh, Tom, I'll make mine real easy. You know what I'm saying? Before the season, I was cautious to say Eastern Conference Finals just because we've been burned so many times. But like we've talked about, like you just illustrated in the first couple minutes, in years past, we would never be able to figure out a way in a close game to beat the Raptors, or in any game to beat the Raptors for the most case, or in any way to beat the Magic. The fact that we were able to do both of those things and then go to the Magic and blow them out, the game was over at halftime. I'm not about to go into 2021 being negative. We have plenty of time to do that. We have plenty of time to be negative, be reactionary to things that happen, maybe not in the positive realm of things. Listen, Simmons made a 3. Thibault had 9 points in 8 minutes off the friggin' bench. I mean, everything was happening. It was just everything. But Dwight Howard hit a 3. Markelle Fultz, after Ben Simmons made the 3, he bricked a 3-point. I mean, it was the first time I felt like as a Philadelphia fan, something went our way. It felt like all year. All year. I'm like, oh, is this a preview? Is this a preview for 2021? Probably not, but I'll take it. I'll take a little freaking glimpse. I'll be fooled. I'll be fooled into thinking this is what we're going to see. This might be the new norm like Doug Peterson talked about all those years ago. So I'm going to agree. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be the guy to be like, no, let's calm down. No. We have all year to bitch and moan and complain and be sad. Let's enjoy it for the 5 minutes that we have here.
Right. Water's warm. Jump in. Jump in, Pope. What do you say?
I'll disagree to the wording. How about that? I'll disagree that it's happening because we don't know yet. Like as much as we love what we're seeing so far, it's still early. It's a small sample size of the season, and we know the highs and lows that come with things in basketball times. So, as much as I love what I'm seeing defensively wise and everything else, we'll still have to tread cautiously with that, but doesn't mean that it's absolutely out of the realm of possibility because 56 games, anything happens, and here we go. Let's have some fun. Let's see what happens when we get into the dance. And listen, it could be further than that, my friends. Who knows what could happen with this year?
That sounds good to me, man. I mean, first and foremost, fam, I just want to wish everybody a happy, healthy, prosperous new year. Time to move on from this year on to 2021. Couldn't be more excited to be here with you guys talking Sixers. And Tom, to your point, and even to your point, Ryan, that you made before, Hot starts, no matter what sport you're talking about, are so crucial. You get off to that hot start, it doesn't win you a championship, but it puts you in a lot better place than a slow start does. And we've seen that with both of our football teams this year, including my Jets as well, lumping 3 of those teams. And they go on and win a game, the most idiotic win in the history of the NFL. But that's a story for another day. To the Sixers, I'm kind of with Steve here on this, man. I side more towards the disagree. I think it's a little premature. 4-1 is a hot start, and it puts them in that same position I was talking about. But I'm not writing a check all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals yet. Let's see what happens after 20 games as you move towards the season, as you towards that playoff push, where your roster is going into the playoffs. A lot of question marks to be answered. And one thing that I've seen already is Joe sat for maintenance. That concerns me. I don't know if that's just a part of the game. Maybe you boys can speak to me on that.
Yeah, it's just everybody. I'm not saying I love it. Just don't make a habit of it. I mean, and when you do play, you better give me 29 then and 15. So like the only thing I'll say, hold on. It looks like we got somebody joining us here.
Bring them. Bring them.
Oh,
Sweeps is here.
Sweeps. Look at the glasses.
Is he asleep? Sweeps.
I was gonna say, is it image? Oh no,
okay, he's moving. He's moving. Okay, hold on. Okay.
He's moving.
Sweeps.
Fuck, hold on. I can't hear.
All right, we're gonna out.
Oh, right.
What's happening
Wow,
here?
that just happened.
We can bring it back to here. The only thing I'll say to you guys is not that I don't disagree, because I like to put NBA seasons into perspective too, right? But I know what I've watched in the past, right? I've watched the same old, and for the first time of watching the process, I feel the difference with my eyes. I can see the difference. And not only in the starting 5, but I can see the difference in the second unit as well. And I see the difference in Embiid when he's out there, like how great he is, right? I mean, when he played 27 minutes tonight, 21, 7 for 11. I mean, it's just a quick, dominant performance, right? Tobias, okay? You know, Ben hitting a 3. I mean, these kinds of things are water's warm. Seth Curry, what we're getting out of Seth, that's different. That's more production and higher value than J.J. Redick gave us here.
So as long as you're providing the production, the maintenance is excusable because it provides that production. It's almost like an analytic thing. Yeah,
get it back to back, right? I don't like it. I don't like the maintenance of NBA players, not one bit, right? But like I'll understand it for a 7-1 guy that's had histories, and you want to keep him fresh to what you guys were saying when the playoffs do get here. So you don't want to run them to the ground, especially a game where you think, you know what, they played double overtime last night, and the Cavs, and we're on a back-to-back, so maybe we can, maybe we get them with some tired legs, and we'll be a little fresher and see if we can sneak out. But guess what? To be 4-1 and the 4 games you won, he played in and he was dominant. Man, I'll take that sample size over 5 games every time. You know what I mean? If you just give me, hey, you play in 4 of them, you sit me 1, and you give me that production, and we go 4-1 all the way, all the way through. And I know you guys would be too, but that's not saying that's realistic. But I'm just willing to jump in. I'm willing to jump into the water. I so am with this team. It's just different.
Take nothing away. Take nothing away from them. I'm with you on that. Yep.
Their ball movement, like early on playing together, is something that you don't see all the time either. Which is nice. You don't have too many basketballs that need to go around either for guys to get theirs and get their production. So like that's it. That's the only reason why I just see that difference. And usually I wouldn't be so fast to jump in that water, right? In a basketball season. But we've been disappointed, boys, and this is something that seems different. Now, we've been fooled before. The Steven Rouse point. But guess what? Fuck y'all trying to go into 2021 with any negative shit. Fool me then. Let's go. I'm in. Agree. Frankie, what do you say, baby? 2021 Eastern Conference finals appearance happening for the Sixers. Agree or disagree?
I said this a couple weeks ago. I do agree with the poll. I do think that the Sixers will be going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I do have them going against the Miami Heat. So I really like where this team's going so far. I really love what I saw tonight. I really love what I saw with the threes. I said it yesterday. I was a little bit disappointed with the threes. We're finally seeing a lot of shooting. So much shooting that even Mayor Kenny's going to blush with all this shooting in Philly. I love it. I love it.
Let me know when it's safe to come back. Let me know when it's safe to come back.
That's the mayor.
As the mayor.
Kenny!
Come back.
But I really love what I see so far with, yeah, we're 5 games in, but I really like where this team is going.
I do too, Frank. You know what? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying what you were saying in a way. Like they won the night by burying the 3, and the games before that, we talked about it last night. They didn't shoot the 3 at all. They've had to win the games other ways. So now they're showing that they can win games in different ways, which is huge.
Yeah,
huge.
I mean, you definitely can't say that you can't be excited about what you see so far, especially with what you've seen out of this team in the past. It was like they won one way and one way only. If you could take away that way to win, you could easily find a way to beat this team. And they would find ways to fall apart in games where they even started off strong. But again.
Tori, now's not the time. You could be negative tomorrow, Tori.
My old friend.
Tori.
They're just
listen.
You just said it. It's so different.
It is like listen, as much as we want to hold them to standards of what we've seen them before, we have to throw that out. This is a different team. This is a different a reloaded regime, so to speak. So you got Morey in there. You have the different coaching staff. You have people in position to not only hold this team accountable, but help make them better in whatever aspects they're lacking. Obviously, Cassell's already been taken off to the side to specifically work with Ben now. Did he not just shoot and hit a 3 tonight? Did I miss something? We don't need to hit for him to be the king of the outside shot. We just need him to shoot it and be better. He doesn't have to be an all-star outside range shooter. Doesn't have to be that. He just has to be better. And as long as he's continuing to make improvements on that, I'm continuing to be fine with the progression they're making. Like I said, Easton got like I don't know if it's happening. We don't know. Basketball's crazy. Matchups are crazy in basketball. But like I said, it could be more than happening. You don't know. This might be the team that does it. We don't know that. Crazier things have happened. We watched the LA Clippers team look really great last year and completely fall apart in the playoffs. So
yep.
Yeah, they don't have. It's
a different team. I know. It just.
I feel like sweeps is agree.
Gentlemen, what's up? Happy fucking New Year. What's up?
Happy fucking New Year. Big fucking win. I can see it all over your face. I can see your excitement all over your face.
Yes, I got a little bit of a 6-year smudge all over me. Yeah.
Got a little full.
No.
No.
He goes for the one-liner and he hops out.
It's a mic drop if I've ever seen one. That's
geez.
Not the sign we were looking for 21.
He's going to have to call maintenance again. He's going to have to call maintenance.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, listen, everything needs to be wait and see, right? Everything needs to be wait and see. But for this basketball team, I've seen a lot over the years, and I've seen the same old, and this is different to me. This is a different vibe, different talk from Doc. We got a real coach in the building, real vets. We got the fucking Blue Lagoon in here now.
Sweeps turned into Chrome. Sweeps turned into Chrome. What happened?
Look at this.
They're multiplying.
Let me start this whole thing over. Welcome into the A2D round table. All right?
Hello there.
We can officially sit at a round table together, all of us. 7 guys. That's round table. Oh.
First show with Steve and my fucking internet's acting up. Cut the shit, internet.
Your internet is holding on.
Listen, the king of the technical difficulty, so I will hold no grudges for you, my friend.
That's right. I'm like, I can't hear these guys. I'm backstage. I'm like, I text Berto, is this normal? I'm in the green room. I can't hear nothing.
I'm in the green room. Boys, welcome in and to the poll.
Look at Crone. What a beautiful, look at that beautiful face. Look at that.
You are a handsome man, I have to say. All you guys are handsome men. It's a visual to see with this crew on here right now.
So what happened then? No extracurricular escapades tonight, my friend. What happened?
Oh no.
What's that?
Oh no.
No extracurricular escapades tonight, my friend. I thought you had a big night planned.
I got my gram is here. My gram is if anybody, some of you guys know, my gram is getting dementia.
Oh.
So it's okay. She's 95, man. It's like a natural thing. So today is a good day. She remembers everything. She remembers everybody. And I was like, you know what? These days are few and far between. It might be a month before I get a day like this. So I'm going to stay home and enjoy it.
And here comes the freaking queen of the dark clouds.
Oh,
Hey, Chrome, that's
I mean, you're the one who's sitting there running your mouth in the chat instead of coming in. So, I mean, if you're going to complain
Jesus.
about it.
Oh,
what do you
Jesus.
ask for?
Oh,
What do you ask
Jesus.
for?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Oh, Jesus.
feel like I'm on a delay here.
Yeah, I feel you are too.
Yeah, not happy about it.
I just want to pop in real quick, guys. Say Happy New Year to you and the fam.
That's right.
It's been an awesome year for us. If anybody didn't get a chance to see it yet, that whole year in review was encompassed in a beautiful, hilarious video that we put out there. And thanks to you guys who put the work in on that too. But I just wanted to come in, pop in for 5 minutes, see your wonderful faces, see some of the fam pop up here in the comments, and say Happy New Year to you guys. We love you. In 2021, the year of no notes. It's fucking happening.
Let's go. Well said. Sir.
Let's go.
Well said.
Let's go. Let's go.
I hear that. That's why I dug up these glasses. I wanted to channel my inner Frank Vespi. That was tremendous. The Macho Man. That's what I got it. Growing up, the Macho Man. That was a tremendous job by Frank.
Oh, yeah.
Frank, I feel like, after seeing the other one you do, I feel like you could do a Harry Carey. I challenge you to randomly pop in with a Harry Carey.
trying.
Harry
You could pull it
Carey.
off.
You just thought about
It's good. It's a
He
good
got
one.
Frank
Taylor,
pull a Harry
thanks
Carey
for the
off.
tip right there. There you go.
Yeah, thank
Stocking
you,
full.
Taylor.
Stocking full.
We'll see. There may be a special guest or two making an appearance tonight during these awards. So
Oh,
Jesus
Lord.
God.
we'll see where it goes.
Tom, it looks like we're going to get started on the 2021 year.
It all depends how much Frank gets in, how much alcohol Frank consumes between now and then to figure out where he's going to go with it.
Oh, no.
Do
Oh,
we-
here we go. Off to a great start.
Do we make exceptions and carry over videos into 2021 that started at the end of 2020?
Depends on how good the guests are that Frank brings in the next hour. It all
Maybe.
depends.
Maybe not. I don't know. As I said, we'll see.
The best way to do Harry Callis is just think of Will Ferrell's impression of Harry, and you got it. You got it.
Yeah, Will crushes it. Will crushes it. Boys, what do you say to the poll down below you?
Oh, that was a little Freudian slip right there. Harry Carey, not Harry Callis.
Oh, my bad.
Two legends.
I blame it on the Nando.
I'm rolling with the gingerbread cookie chip bottom hard cider.
Here we go, Tom. Here we go.
Never leave a lady that loves you.
Hey, there you go. This might be my new thing. What are you drinking tonight? I thought about a juice box, but
Glad you became a man tonight.
I figure I'll grow up in 2021.
Yeah, a little fireball for the panel as well.
Nice.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Put a little hair on your nuggets.
I'll get back to one last Sixer point before we try to kind of move on a little bit from this. And I think Tom a little bit touched on it. Like, I think the Sixers team will go as far this year as Joel Embiid and his health will take them.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, no question. I mean, if he's not playing, they're not going to an Eastern Conference final. You know, it's as simple as that. Simple as that, period. So, you know, that's why I think, you know, a night where you can play 27 minutes like tonight's a win.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you can get performances out of him like you've gotten, you know, through his first 3 games, if you can get that through the longevity of the season, let's go make some bets.
Yeah, you know, if he's healthy all year, I expect them to be right to this poll question. That's part of the agree. Because what I've watched over 5 games is something completely different than I've watched over the last 4 years. And I don't care what anybody says. I've watched openings and good openings of years, and I've watched bad openings of years. But I've never.
Yeah, but even Captain Claps-a-Lot's good starts didn't look like this.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. They've learned they've won in different ways already in 5 games this year. Different ways they beat you. Right? They beat you struggling from the 3 ball, but playing great defense. They beat you tonight. They stroked the 3 tonight. So it's like, you know, they learned they can play defense. They can score with you. I think they've shown you different ways. And I think some of the accountability is starting to seep through, not only from the veterans, but from the staff.
Tori, I don't think there's any more Philly Models left.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
One more last point before we move on. Something special that I think you'll appreciate, Sweepsy. Talk about putting some hair on your nuts. I got special for 12 o'clock. Macallan 12. 12-year age Scotch whiskey, baby. Let's go.
Whew. Nice. I got plenty of hair. I can always use more.
It is the winter. This is the season.
This is the season.
I mean, I just get a burn in my chest just thinking about it. Like,
it's
special.
My chest got hot.
As soon as he said that, I was thinking Sean Connery. Fucking Sean Connery type.
Sean Connery. There's another one, man.
Yep.
2020 again, man. Here we go.
What do you guys say to the poll? Agree or disagree? Sweeps, Chrome.
Goodness. Yeah, I mean, that's where I had them in the beginning of the year. I mean, not because, you know, I thought they were, you know, maybe the best team in the East. I just, you know, I was fed up. You know what I mean? I'm done. You know, it's this is the year. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we're grateful that we have two superstars, or at least 1.5. You know, on any given night. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm not going to kill the other dude, but you know, I'm tired of his fucking act. You know, and you know, and I'm tired of Toby's act. But Toby's been great. So if Toby continues to play well, I mean, you know, I would have to say he's the wild card. You know what I mean? For us, you know, we know we're gonna have nights where we're not, you know, we might not throw it in the ocean, all right? And that's where the big man's got to come into play and absolutely dominate, you know, inside. You know, we're not gonna have nights where we make 15 threes. I get it, you know what I mean? But you know, Toby's been good, and you know, and I'm not gonna, you know, back away from my killing of the dude. That's, you know, I'm gonna continue to roast those 2 guys. I'll continue to roast him and Ben all the way until they fucking, you know, allow the egg on my face, and then I'll say, good, we're in the Eastern Conference Finals where we belong. All right, about fucking time. You know what I mean, you know, us and Hinkie suffered for this. All right, and this is what we want.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree to the poll as well. I mean, I think for one point you guys touched on, Steve, you said, you know, Joel's health. I think a lot rides on that. But even just looking at this team and seeing, you know, I look at the second unit, and I think that tells you a lot about how good a team is. You know, Rob can speak to, when you talk about, you know, how good is your 4th line, a lot of times tells you how good a hockey team is, your 3rd and 4th lines. NBA is the same thing. When I look at you know, the back end of the, you know, the rotation of 8, you know, I look at what Maxey contributes in you know, his doses on the floor. Shake Milton, what he's seemed to, you know, I think he's on the cusp of hitting the next gear. And that's kind of what I look at. That's what killed us last year, guys. It was the role players. It was the fact that we had no role players outside of the top, the starting rotation. So, absolutely, I think that this team is primed to make a run as long as Joel, knock on wood, stays healthy. And, hey, hopefully we get a few more shot attempts from Ben.
It looked nice tonight, guys. It looked nice tonight.
I know we talked about Maxey at some point is going to slide into the starting rotation, but honestly, as the team is constructed right now, I like the chemistry with him coming off the bench, being the 6th, 7th, 8th guy.
Yeah,
I really like the the fact that we have a guy coming off of the bench that's not afraid to penetrate the lane and try to create plays. We had none of that last year. Mike Scott looks better this year. I mean, a lot of them have looked a lot better this year.
And you mentioned Mike Scott. He looked washed last year. He's looked like he's got some pep in his step this season. So
they said he dropped some weight this offseason and got in better shape and better conditioning. So, not that he's a big guy, but I guess in terms of NBA, you're carrying any kind of extra weight. That's a lot to get up and down the floor. So, unless you're a guy like Shaq who doesn't really need to and you just bang down low, and that's not the NBA style anymore. You have to stay in top physical condition, and he does look. If you look at him now, physically he looks better. So I felt like he could be a key contributor, not necessarily dictate whether they succeed or not, but having that little extra, cherry on top. If Mike Scott can drop a couple threes every game off the bench, it's like the 8th or 9th guy. You're in good freaking shape for the rest of the year.
For sure. This bench has to get done.
Yeah.
They have early on. They produced early on here, and we got to hope that keeps up.
And you know what too, Tom? I mean, something me and you talked about when we were looking for coaching candidates. See Sam Cassell out there, squaring up Ben and having Ben take jumpers. Friggin' love it. You have basketball guys in this organization, and it is fantastic to see. I mean, I felt coming in this year, this might be the best constructed organization, top to bottom, of this team in my lifetime, and I'm believing what I'm seeing so far.
I mean, just think about it. Like, you have, Dwight and Danny Green just come in with accountability, and they've already played a role in, Dwight, I think, plays a role in Joel, helping him and Ben. And I think Danny Green has said that even if he's not perfect, he can say he has clout to say stuff. You know what I mean? Inside locker room. So, him saying that, hey, Ben needs to shoot when he's open. Right. And then, then you get it like, okay, you didn't get it that night. Right. But then you get it the next game out where he does shoot a 3. And we don't care about the 3 here. We just care about him. Hey, you got an open elbow jumper, hit it. Right. So guys have to close out on you because we know you can get to the basket at will. I think, listen, we talked about Sam Cassell, Chrome, as being a good head coach candidate for us. We were lucky enough to get Doc and Sam on the bench. So, I mean, we talked about how good of a status is, not only the defense, we talk about coordinators in the NFL and stuff. Our coordinator, our defensive coordinator, guy from Indiana, top-notch guy. You already see that translating on defense. And this is a team that's new playing together. Sleeves, Crum, you weren't here, but I said, a bunch of new guys playing together, 5 games in, the way they move the basketball, pretty impressive. Pretty impressive to watch. It's like watching the Suns. The Suns move the basketball like a son of a bitch. Then they got Chris Paul now. They just everybody touches it, right? Well, that's what I'm seeing from the Sixers. And you guys know as well as I know. And I'm not comparing them to the Warriors, but them Warriors runs where they move the basketball was a big part of why they were able to win championships. Not only not having they had great players, but they were unselfish. Everybody knew they were going to get their shots. And they knew they can get their shots in better spots if they were unselfish with the basketball. And I think having a point guard that's his first thing is thinking unselfish creates an unselfish starting 5. Is that fair to say? Because you don't have that ball dominant point guard. He wants to get it in your hands. Be ready to shoot, Seth. Right? I think Seth carries a better addition to the starting 5 than JJ Redick was, and I love JJ. But he just is. He's more of a consistent 3-ball hitter. JJ's hot or cold. When JJ misses, JJ misses, right? And I love Jay, but JJ.
Yeah, but JJ only gave you a shot where Seth gives you the other side of the floor.
I'll tell you what.
It looks like he does, Steve. It looks like he gets up in you a little bit for being a smaller guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the thing where JJ gave you almost nothing. You're getting more on that end of it.
And you're talking about
up on the other side with JJ.
No, and you're talking about
anything is an upgrade from JJ on the defensive end. Sure.
Well, you're talking about JJ too when he's hot and cold. I watched that game the other night where they got blown out, and JJ couldn't hit the fucking side of a building, of a skyscraper, if he was standing 10 feet away from it. It was terrible.
Real quick.
And that's where you'll take the. Hang on, Tom, real quick. I'm sorry, but that's it. That's where that's where we're asking for the evolution of Ben. Like you can be that. He is that unselfish point guard, and that's fine. You know what I mean? When everybody else is making shots, you know what I mean? Do your thing. I don't think we give a shit if we win 116-92 and he has 9 points. I don't really give a shit if you're an all-star or not. You know what I mean? Just continue to create. You know, be a tremendous defender, and we don't care, right? But the nights that guys are cold or guys, you know, or somebody's not playing because they're injured, then you got to take over, and that's what we're asking. There's got to be a switch. There has to be a switch when you can be that guy first, you know, that you want, you know, the unselfish guy, the guy that's a facilitator. Boom. Then you got to be able to you got to be that guy. You got to be a killer too, though. If you want to be a next generational talent, you want to be a superstar, you got to have that other gear.
I need that 25 from you if I need you that night, right? Like, hey, Joel's not playing in Cleveland. Need you to drop 25. He didn't. So, you know, that they're the things that I completely agree on. The one thing I'll say, and we all agree on here too, you know, his defense comes every night to play. I'll give him credit there. Not everybody does that, but you're number one pick in the draft. I agree with Sleeps. I love you, the fact that you want to distribute. I want you to want to distribute. But when the fork hits the road and you got to be the guy that night because Toby's having an off night or Joe's having an off night and you got to go to work, then you got to go over one. And if he can learn to do that, I think that makes him the best overall player you get. You know, and hopefully he can do that. We're going to find out over the next 20 if that's even something in the conversation. But I do believe Ben's going to get his numbers, right, which are 17 a night, 18 a night. I believe that. And he's not at those numbers right now. He's lower. So I got a feeling you're going to get a week or two of Ben coming soon where you're getting 22, 25 a night because he's going to get to that 17, 18 number. It's going to even itself out. But hopefully that the three tonight creates confidence, right? Because all we want is you to just be a confident offensive player. You don't got to be Harden jacking 30 shots a night. Just be a confident offensive player because you should be. We all sit at home and watch that three tonight. And we're like, fucking shit smoother than half the guys that shoot threes. Kidding me? I watch a lot of threes in the NBA. A lot of guys jack them.
Danny Green.
Like I said, that's not even at the top of our list that we talk about on all our shows. You know what I mean? It just keeps people honest. It allows you to be, when you have any kind of jump shot, you're in the triple threat position, and people got to respect that. So that's all we're asking. But there's no reason that he can't continue to get to the hole at will. At 6'10" and impose his will inside and start backing some, hey, we got a mouse in the house, start backing some guys in and get to the free throw line 20 times a game sometimes. You know what I mean? Like when the night calls for it. You know what I mean? I understand he's improving at the line. We get that. You know what I mean? But that's going to, it's not just going to happen in practice. It happens in a game. You got to get to the, continue to go to the foul line, at a 15, 20, 20 attempt clip. Per game, because then you're imposing your will, all right? Then you're putting your handprint on things. That's what we want.
Yep, exactly.
And you don't have to be the best shooter. You just need to get your opponent to respect your shot. Because once they respect that shot, it opens up the hole for driving the lane and potentially going in the line.
You just have to be a threat. That's all you have to be. You just have to be a threat to the opposing team where they have to respect it, and then they're gonna defend not only him differently, they're gonna defend the entire team differently.
Guys, we watched Giannis shoot a million, not a million. But we watch Giannis shoot the ball, and it's not pretty. It's not a pretty, but he does it, so guys actually have to come out on him. And like Ben's is pretty, so it's like, dude, guys aren't going to be able to do that in the playoffs. If you say, "Hold up, fuck you," boom, and you hit two in a row on them, then the whole game plan shifts to them having to come out and guard you, and then the playoff that playoff atmosphere opens up because we all know what teams try to do, especially Boston. Boston tries to cave the lane and make Ben beat you. You know what I mean? And, the more he's willing to just take little strides in it, the better this basketball team's going to be. And not just the three ball, just the fact that, okay, I'm going to take two dribbles, get a 20-footer up, bang. You know what I mean?
It's just like you said, like to Brodo and Pope's point, the fact that you're a threat. All right, when a hand goes up, now you have the ability to put it on the floor and go by a guy. You know what I mean? Like, I was a tremendous defender, not at the NBA level, not bringing back my glory days, not bringing back my YMCA days, right? But as a great defender in my prime, right? When the hand goes up, you're off balance, right? It's you now became vulnerable as a defender. That's all we're asking.
YMCA days.
Put a guy in a blender. Put a guy in a blender one time.
And the funny thing is, he can blender you up. You know what I mean? But I'm really impressed. I know we've been talking a lot about Ben. Last thing I got to say, we'll move on here, is I'm extremely impressed by Joel Embiid, though. In the 4 games he did play. This is dominant. This is back to the basket basketball. Even though he was about to jack a 3 and pass it up, I think it was a Seth. And then Seth buried it. And, Joe was about to shoot it and was on one leg and was like, maybe I should give it to a guy who actually shoots it better. Bang, they bury it. And they're the things I like to see. That's evolution and just understanding what's a good look for your basketball team and growth. And, I think the accountability and the coaching staff, get your back to the basket, and we see how dominant he is. We saw the other night how many times he went to the line. And tonight, only 11 shots, only played 27 minutes. Quick night, easy, smooth night, but 21 points, done and done, and back to the basket, and he just shows he can just impose his will on teams. And I think he's figuring it out more as a player, and obviously we got the right staff to force that upon him per se.
Yeah, we never would have seen that with Brett Brown. We never would have seen it with Brett.
Do you think there's either a player or a staff member that gets a postseason NBA award?
Award?
Yeah, it could be executive of the year, coach of the year, MVP, defensive player of the year, whoever.
Probably. I would think so. I think somebody. I think somebody would be. Maybe defensive player of the year. Probably hard. Ben has probably a good chance of that. But
with the Rockets or the Sixers?
Does the Rockets have anything to do with the Sixers?
I'm not doing that, Chrome.
Guys, Happy New Year. It was a pleasure to be on with you. I'm leaving on that note.
What note is that?
Good night, Captain.
Tom knows exactly the note I'm leaving that on.
Hell of a note.
Yeah.
Old Irish goodbye. You know what I mean?
Wow. One note. Huh? Forget about no notes. One note. Leave it on one note, huh? You fucking cocksucker. You cocksucker, you. You cocksucker, you. One note.
One note. I love you guys. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to the fam out there. Okay. Go Sixers. Go Phillies sports. Go Cardinals. Fitzmagic needs to get healthy.
Yeah,
love you guys. See you later.
I'm going to cut you off.
Later, love you, brother.
Love it.
He said I'm going to cut you off. Hey, he was talking my language there. Easy, Rye, but I hear
I forgot, Sweeps. He wasn't the only one there. I forgot we had a 2-way invasion there. I forgot all about that.
Mm-hmm. Feel free to, but I know I keep it to myself. Feel free to cut him off.
Exactly. You're respectable, at least. You're respectable.
Yeah.
He said,
I can read a room. I know my surroundings. I can read a room.
He says 2011 every 5 sentences. This guy. He said he brings up 2011 every 5 sentences.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Forces it down your throat. Then,
yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of salt. That's a big wound.
Yeah.
Big wound.
Yeah. Big wound. Thing's still bleeding. Still bleeding. All right. Let's get into some of the best moments, worst moments, crumb of the year, and then we'll do our A2D Sports Awards. So, best moment of 2020.
Y'all want me to lead it off? Because I got a clear-cut one.
Go ahead, Rob.
Go ahead, brother.
I mean, it all started with you and Roberto in the studio and the NBA canceling the season, the snowball effect that came through that. And it led up into the cancellation of all sports, and it led to me actually playing esports DFS, betting on marble racing, total degen type stuff. I had issues during the first wave, but when baseball came back, and I'm not even just talking in the States, even as early with the KBO and the MPO out there in Korea and Japan, respectively, getting up at 4:30 in the morning to sweat some DFS contests with the baseball, seeing the cardboard cutouts. It was just a surreal moment. And then it was culminated with Yankees Nationals opening night. And it made it all possible that we could find ways. This culture is, just has the ingenuity to trump any obstacle and get sports on there, get people, with basketball down in the bubble, watching it virtually. It was just an amazing thing. And, hopefully it continues because, obviously we're going through the second installment or even the third installment or what have you. But with the utmost confidence, that has to be my best moment of this year.
Yeah, that is a clear-cut favorite. Because there was a point of time where you're like, all right, when are we getting this back? And are we getting it back?
They were talking no sports to 2021. And that's bad. That's bad for the bank account. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And nobody got time for that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my best moments as well. Was just the night sports started to make a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
It's just obvious because we've never gone away, never not had something, right? So yeah, that's right up there with mine too. One of mine. Anybody else?
And I'm going to piggyback off of Rob as well. Not only that you mentioned the KBO and the NPB, Gary Bettman setting the trend for resuming sports here in the States and in Canada. He laid down the game plan on what was going to happen during this restart. He laid it down perfectly, and I gave a lot of respect back for Gary Bettman. Of all the years of me ragging on Gary Bettman of being one of the worst commissioners in sports, he elevated himself from the worst commissioner to the third best commissioner in the Big Four sports. So that's saying a lot.
Yeah, and pulled it off flawlessly too. 0 cases up in the bubble up in Canada.
Absolutely.
You can't take anything away from it. But it was alarming that something that we love so much. And it's like you could be without a sport because of a strike, but then there's other sports. But all across the board, homies betting on fucking marble races. Like that's that's apocalypse shit right there.
You know what? Another great moment was just having when we didn't have anything, we had the NFL draft. And that was like a big sporting moment, even though nobody was playing, right? So that became like the big thing in 2020, and that was another one of the better moments, in my opinion, was to have that to look forward to. Prism, thanks, brother. We appreciate the tip. It says 2021, Happy New Year's, my guys. Right back at you. Can I get I can't see the emoji.
It's a giant middle finger.
Okay. Yes, you can. Yeah. $20 and get a lot of things around here.
Hey, $20 is $20.
Prince is very upset over Jonathan Taze and his illness right now. He's very sensitive. So don't hold it against him, man. He's going through a hard time right now. His boy, Twinkle Toes, is hurting.
I mean, I think the best thing I would say that outside of the things you guys mentioned was the Sarah Fuller thing, being the first female NCAA football player. So, I mean, continue seeing walls being broken down is always a good thing in 2020.
Absolutely. And of course, yesterday, Becky Hammond filling in for Pop.
Like I said, continue to see them walls breaking down.
Yeah. Everybody all right over there?
Everybody all right. They get the merch.
No, that was for sure my son playing. That was for sure my son playing PlayStation. That was for sure my son playing Madden, without a doubt.
Oh, I understand. And listen, he might be playing with Ralphie. Ralphie might be up there too. It's fine.
Yeah, probably.
He said, "Everybody all right."
Yeah, no, I'm listening. It's the holidays. I'm just checking on everybody. It's fine.
Love it. He's getting at it though. I mean, at least he's getting after it.
Yeah, I love it. He's locked in. I really like that.
Be passionate about what you're good at, babe. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Dude, I'm going to show you guys a video of him when he plays. Sometimes you guys are going nuts. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna go. The best thing I saw all year was before we even got any sports back. It was really early in the process. It was the Jordan documentary. feels like that was like 3 years ago now, but
Right.
that was the first thing that we got as sports fans to really like look forward to every week. That was like our main discussion point for so long. It was like, oh, let's watch the Jordan doc instead of Sunday Night Football. It was the Jordan doc. It was the 2 hours of the Michael Jordan stuff, and
because he's the GOAT, Ryan. So a great job by you. I'm not gonna cut you off. I just want to let everybody know Ralphie's not here, right, and all that other bullshit. He's the fucking GOAT. That's why.
Yes, exactly. Sweeps.
Period. All right, stuff it in your pipe, Ralphie, and all you fucking LeBron sexuals, whatever it is. And you saw it.
Well, how great of a marketer is Jordan too? Like, like what better time to come out with that documentary when nothing's on? When nothing's on, and we all sit there and we're waiting for Sundays like it's the fucking kickoff, right? Like it's the NBA Finals. We're waiting for Sundays, like yo, and then like for me, I waited on it on purpose because I wanted to watch it all. Like I wanted to watch a bunch at once. I'm a big
I'm a binger,
and I got pumped. Like I was in the studio, just me by myself, and I felt the intensity in that documentary and forgot so many things through my childhood of how great about Jesus God. What do we got? Is he in the tub?
we got Greg,
What's up,
Magic
boys?
Man in a tub.
He's in a tub?
I'm in the hot tub.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
What's going on here?
Get the link, so I thought I'd hop on and say
Coming in hot.
A pinball.
Oh,
Probably my internet here. Somebody's pinwheeling. Who's pinwheeling? I can't see.
Hold on, Sweeps. We're coming for a landing. Hold on.
We're coming in for a landing.
Hold on, guys. Oh, good to have you from the tub.
Yeah, I thought I'd jump in, say hi, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. I mean, I would love to. I mean, I never would say this, but I would love to be in that tub with you.
Come on in. There's room.
We're talking about the water being warm.
I got nothing.
Water's definitely warm.
You got nothing? I'm just talking about the tub. I'm not talking about sitting on his lap.
I got a blank screen.
I
thought you.
Yeah. Hey, man, you got nothing like you want. I mean, we'll see.
I thought you were saying like no comment. Like I'm saying that.
Well, I always got a comment. I don't know what I got nothing here.
Like Wilson, can't see anything.
Fucking internet. I'm gonna throw it right in the goddamn ocean.
No, I think you guys are talking about the
You can
best
throw it right
of the
into
year.
the tub.
Yeah, what's your best moment of the year, big guy? What's yours?
I heard Ryan mention the docs. I heard you mention the Sarah Fuller stuff. I'm actually going a little recent right here, real quick. Tiger Woods playing with his son Charlie a couple weeks ago.
Thank you.
That was awesome to watch. And I know there's not. I mean, of course, Ryan's a golf fan as well, but seeing Charlie play better than me at 11 years old. But more than that, seeing the greatest golfer of all time, plus our generation, step back and be a father for a weekend, that was probably the coolest moment of the year so far for me.
Yeah, Greg, I think this might be the first time I've ever said this, not only on a show, maybe ever. I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you because I was debating between the Jordan doc and Tiger and Charlie. I was debating between both of them, and you came right in, and it was perfect. That was perfect out of you, and I agree.
And Charlie has some swag. I mean, hitting bombs and then giving Dad the thumbs up. Like, don't even tee off, Dad. You're good. We're in the middle of the fairway. We're ready to go.
There he is. I got it. It was my internet. I see you, Kramer. Look at Newman. Newman, you got a little breadcrumbs on you.
Where are we at?
He's on the roof. He's on the roof sunbathing. You got some. I see you with the crumbs on you.
Cheers, boys.
Oh my God, whose dogs get beat in the background?
I feel like somebody's getting murdered.
Dude, no, he
I got to mute him for a minute. What's he got over there? I mean, is that inappropriate?
Is Madden 04 playing in the background with Michael Vick on 99 speed?
Oh no! Oh no!
He sees the neighbor. He can smell them coming a mile away. Just does not like them. He just goes right to the door.
You gotta get this kind of mic. My dog can bark from here. You won't hear it. It's crazy. Like, remember the old studio? Rob in the basement? Rob? The dog barked from upstairs. You heard it right through the mic. It was like you knew somebody was here. Somebody's here.
It's like paranormal fucking 7 over there. I can't. I mean, I'm here. I'm picking up all kinds of noises over there.
Yeah, same here. It's like crazy.
Pretty soon you're going to hear Informer from Snow in the background. It's murder.
Bringing it back.
All right, boys, I'm
Bringing
going to
it
roll.
back.
I just wanted to jump on and say Happy New Year.
Yeah, just go under one
Happy New Year, brother.
quick. Then come back up.
Yeah, submerge.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take your pod out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to shock you.
Yeah, we don't want to electrocute. That's a big electrocution.
Oh, spin. The little doggy.
Look at this guy. 2020. There he is.
Oh, my
Somebody,
goodness.
somebody put the Baywatch music to it. He's going.
Playing just a game of the tip. Hey, just play a game of just the tip.
Oh man.
Everybody give their best.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I did not. But I'm once
sorry,
again, I'm
Sleeps.
probably, am I frozen or is that just Greg?
No,
no, Greg's gone. Greg went under.
Greg went under. Up there.
See ya.
He rage quit. He rage.
Oh my god.
He got this thing called. That's the third time.
Oh my god.
Oh, what a nice. He's
Oh,
back.
there he is again.
He's back. He's back.
He's
Okay.
back.
Oh, he's gone now.
Be happy. He's back.
There it is. Yay.
And he's back. This is what a night. I mean, what a bookend to 2020. I mean, you come on here, you want to, got the Macho Man shades, for Frank, and the fucking internet is absolutely fucking urinating all over the place. I'm fucking like 5 feet from the goddamn fucking modem. I mean, sorry, all our sponsors. I'm really sorry. I'm fucking losing it. Right with the glasses here, just a special guest right now. You can't even tell. Can't even tell it's me. That's it. Can't even tell it's me.
Look at the disclaimer up on the bottom.
Don't want to get Tom or anybody else in trouble. That are affiliated with A2D. This is Uncle Sweet.
Nah, you're good.
For me, it's I got a little bit, a little combo. Now it won't hurt as much for the Eagle fans because you guys won first. You know what I mean? But I thought Andy Reid winning was huge. I thought Andy Reid was, not being an Eagle fan myself. I thought I think Andy Reid's a great coach, and I thought it was time for him to. To get one, and like the fact that it came after you guys, which didn't sting as much for you guys,
Yeah.
So a little combo with Andy Reid and probably the Zamboni driver. I mean, to me, that's incredible. That's incredible. I understand they have that rule in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
I know they have that rule, but that's fucking incredible. And the dude won a game. It wasn't like he was just. I understand he's got, it's what he does. It's an emergency. But like, what's the chances that both guys get hurt and this guy's got to get thrown into a game and he wins the game? I mean, it's unbelievable. I'd shit right in my cup. I'd shit right in my fucking metal cup if they were like, "Hey, Sweeps, we need you in the pipes." Yeah, I'd shit right in my metal cup.
Tremendous story.
Not coming in and winning that one. I actually forgot about that one. That's a great pull because I forgot all about that being 2020. You know what I mean? Kind of years then.
That's great. Yes, keep fucking shooting away, buddy. I love it. Fire away, because fucking Verizon, BIOS, you can suck it. I'm gonna be streaming. Very shortly. As soon as this contract's up, I'll be streaming like a son of a bitch. I've had enough of Verizon.
Worst moment of 2020, honestly. I would say it was when sports like shut down, but I'm not gonna use that one. I'm gonna keep it with sports on the field, and it has to be the Philadelphia Eagles because there's so much expectations coming into a year where you knew what the following year was going to bring cap wise. You felt like it was like an all in year, sort of how the organization went about their off season a little bit. You felt like it was going to be a big year for Carson, and all the things that you thought were going to go right for the Eagles went completely the other way. And that's and I call it a moment because the whole season was the same. And that's why I'll call it a moment. Because if it was all different and we lost in a bunch of different fucking ways, then I would say, you know what? Not quite a moment. That's more of a we just fucking suck. Well, we suck, but we lost the same way all the fucking time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I'll go next, and I think Robbie will attest to this. Maybe he has a bigger one, but I know he'll support it. My worst moment of 2020 was the Flyers Game 7 performance in the playoffs.
Yeah.
How can I not second that? Not showing up after you dramatically came back in the series. That's deflating. It is.
No.
I mean, I it's not mine, but it does rank up there, especially since the elation that we had on camera together where we rode that journey, and to see it end like that seemed premature. But what kind of makes me sleep at night is that's exactly where this team is. You know what I mean? Them going further would have been overachieving. So that made me a little more okay with it, but I'm with you.
Yeah, real quick back to the Eagles. The Wentz getting the concussion all plays in the 2020. That's where it all started. Yeah. So you felt like 2020 was off to a good start because they went on a run. They made the playoffs. You were feeling good. There was a big win in Week 17 in 2020. You go to the playoffs. Carson plays a full season. Then boom, right? Then boom, concussion, and it just piggybacked into what 2020 was for the Philadelphia Eagles. But Flyers a great one. If maybe somebody will say Sixers too. I mean, that was a piss poor performance in the bubble. But there's a few to go around in Philly sports.
I'm gonna go outside of Philly sports. Obviously, we all have our things when it comes to inside of our own bubble here. But the cancellation of the Olympics is rough because that didn't just affect it affect international athletes. It expect more than a handful of sports. So it's just I think that was probably one of the things because those are things that give people platforms where they normally don't, and get them to put themselves in position to put themselves in a better spot in their sport, in their life, whatever. So that was my biggest, saddest moment of 2020.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Somebody going?
No, go on, brother.
That's a great one, Steve. I mean, that's one that's not thought about as much. There's a lot of great athletes that got something they love taken away from them, and I know they're gonna. Yeah. I know they're ramping it up to do it this summer. Correct?
I believe so. I hope so.
Yeah, they're aiming for 20. They're aiming for next summer for the Olympics.
Hopefully, that's a lot of athletes that lost out on gold per se, and lost out on medals. Period. Or fuck the medals, the goddamn experience of training your whole life for the Olympics, and to get the call that you're going to the Olympics and whatever you're going there with, whatever sport it may be, it's a tough thing to get taken away from you. So just more of a fuck you.
And I'll pick it back even further on. The other saddest thing was wrestling getting removed for break dates, and that's my other one too. That was rough.
Don't let Chuck hear that. But I agree. I agree with that. I will echo that in the amateur to what Steve's saying at the amateur level. The loss of high school sports, college sports, March Madness, no Omaha. I mean, just it's devastating for kids. I mean, I understand that that was in the middle of it. And there's, we always talk about, hey, life is bigger than sports. I get that. I get that. What I mean? So I'm not trying to, compare the two. I mean? We're, a lot of people, have been, devastated and suffered through this. I mean? So by no means would you, try to, justify it. I mean? But, as a kid, man, talking about an Olympic athlete working all your life, as a college athlete or a high school athlete, you get to be a senior. You work, you train your whole life. You train your ass off, and then to lose your senior year. And have
exactly, and your last chance to get looked at by colleges. It's that last chance too, and you also take a look at the Little League World Series being canceled as well. Like, especially a lot of these kids that are probably no longer going to be playing the sport or Little League. That got taken away from them. And those kids losing out on that experience, it's a damn shame.
Yeah, my nephew is a tremendous offensive lineman, and he missed out on scouting opportunities, only having 6. I think maybe they added a 7th game towards the end of the season. That was actually postseason, that bearing on the standings, but at least it gave those seniors an extra opportunity to showcase that. Now, you guys saw, he got get recruited by Keem, but it limited a lot of those potentialities. But I told him, I was like, keep the faith. You know what I mean? Things will progress, and you'll have the ability, and you can always transfer up. You see that all the time. So for those kids, that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. To Steve's point, getting back to the Olympics, you boys know I'm a huge Olympics guy. Who I feel bad for is that 36 to 38-year-old athlete that was right at the end of their thing. Right now, mind you, if it gets off next summer, I'm sure they'll still be viable.
I actually think that's a stupid rule they should throw out. You should be able to compete at any age. If you could be an Olympian at 50, it shouldn't matter.
Right. Well, just being within the athletic prowess to have the athletic prowess to still compete.
Well, I think Mike Tyson has kind of pushed that envelope this year. We've seen it with a lot of athletes who are, I hate to say it, Tom Brady's another one. What he's been doing the past few years hasn't been seen before. So I think that's something we need to look into moving forward, is saying what is your athletic prime. I think that it's whatever your prime is. I don't think there's a number attached to it.
And I think, like I said, to Frank's point, Frank was spot on. You know what I mean? Because you're only 12 once. You know what I mean? And some of those kids the big field separates you. Some of those kids will never play again. You know what I mean? They got their experience in a little bit of bully ball, the big barrel. They dominate at 11 and 12. 13, 14, that's it. This sport overcomes them. You know what I mean? They can't. They're not going to be good at it anymore in baseball. It's one of the hardest things to do in all sports. So Frank, you lose sight of that. That was great job by you to point that out. You know what I mean? Especially, and like I said, as much as you can continue to play, even if the kids that do continue to move on and continue their baseball career, you don't get that year back. You know what I mean? That's a special moment where you got a special group of 11 or 12-year-olds that are good enough to get to Williamsport. And then that's taken away, and same thing with the travel ball teams. Cooperstown was, kids were 12 years old. Cooperstown was canceled. That's an experience of a lifetime. Tom's in the 12-year-old age group this year. That's going to be an experience of a lifetime. Not for him. I mean, he's just going to be doing what he always does. But for them, that's an experience of a lifetime. Cooperstown. So it's tough. It's brutal.
So many impacted in the in the sports world. From youth all the way up, and it's like, Rob, what I was going to say to your nephew was that, the fact of the matter is, unlike other sports, football doesn't have the AAU circuit, like other sports do, right? Like, so other sports, like you have the AAU circuit, basketball, you got the AAU circuit, baseball, you got the AAU circuit. Football is like, I gotta go watch you in your high school game still. Guys aren't playing AAU football. At least I don't think they fucking do. So unless I miss something, that's the one sport there is at the AAU side. So it really comes down to what you did in high school. And, for a lot of guys, not every player their junior years is when they're the biggest and their strongest.
Yeah, summertime, 7-on-7 for them. You know what I mean? For the football, for the diehard football guy, they got 7-on-7 in the summer,
Yeah, 7-on-7. And for linemen, it doesn't do much.
I mean, piss on his
from his junior to senior year, he sprouted 5 inches and just started killing people on the line. He's flat out destroying people. And people recognize that. And that'll just further develop, to your point. Yeah, exactly.
So Crumity, right? Everybody went on. Did everybody go worse?
The best to help him out, Proven, that you'll keep giving him support. The best wide receiver of all time is from Mississippi Valley State. Don't matter. Do not.
My worst moment of 2020 was way back in January, and it's one word. It's COVID.
Mm-hmm.
That was terrible. I mean, we lost so many people this year, both to the coronavirus, to not the coronavirus, whatever the causation. So many people that, we invite into our homes. We didn't know them personally, but that doesn't mean we weren't attached to them. And Kobe just hit it. Still to this day, it's me the hardest. Such a shame.
It did, and it's a combo. It's not just Kobe. It's like the Gigi in there. It's like it's the big separator too, right? Like with somebody as close as they. I believe it, but as close as they portrayed to be when they, all the things they did together. So I mean that just like makes it even harder. And in 2020, like when you live on social media more and you can live through like Vanessa Bryant, like still mourning this to this day, and you can like you're almost not living through her, but feeling the pain on like on Christmas, on New Year's, right? It's just it's tough, Rob. You're never gonna forget where you were. It's one of them. You'll never forget what you were doing, where you were when you heard that news. And a guy that I was at a baseball camp. One of the guys in there was a Sixers scout, and he was like, "Oh, Kobe died." I said, "What? Kobe died? Like that's a name you think never dies, right? Like Kobe died." And like it felt like everything we were doing should have been canceled. Like it was that kind of impact just in the, for anybody that's in the sports world, man. That's a great one. And I'm glad you said,
and our industry too, Tommy, like I said, we're when kids are picking up baseballs, right? It's, Kobe, everybody's Kobe, you know what I mean? Like that's the generation we're in, like, hey, pick up the ball. So now, this year, I allow it to happen. In years past, I'm like, pick up the fucking balls, right? But now you're like, all right, go ahead, shoot a few. You know what I mean? Like, not to make light of it. You know what I mean? Hey, go ahead, shoot a few. You know what I mean? It was that kind of year.
Keep that perpetuating, man, because that's how we all live forever. When people keep on talking about you and the impact that you have on this world, you really never die. And he was such a good role model. He's like, that's what you want every athlete to be. Yeah,
game
his things, but hey,
we all listen. We've all had shit. So I'm not, I'll never say everybody has shit in their life they've done they don't like, right? Or didn't do and they got accused of. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Tremendous role model, though.
Yeah, what he turned himself into, and bigger than this. Fuck basketball. He used his basketball influence, right, to help. Like he didn't go try to help the men's game. The men's game was fine. This dude didn't have to go help the women's game. He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do shit. He made a ton of money. He never had to do anything the rest of his life. And he didn't have to go and be an influence like he was in the women's game and really try to promote it. And granted, listen, when you got all girls, that pushes you to do that a little bit more too. And, it's just, listen, that's not a Lakers fan. Hate the Lakers. Love Kobe, right? Like hated the Bulls. Love Jordan. It's that same impact. It's like getting, it's not, this isn't on the level, but it's like, I knew where I was when I heard Magic Johnson had HIV. Like, I'll never forget when I heard Magic Johnson had AIDS. I'll never forget where I was. Yep. Nobody will ever forget where they were. And I was a young pupper, just at the pub, about to hit the salad bar. At the pub, about to hit the salad bar. Boom, Magic has HIV positive. The next day, I told my mom, I think I might be too. You know what I mean? I'm a good distributor with the basketball too. Maybe I am, but they're things that you'll never.
Read the joke. He was okay.
Literally and figuratively, wrap that up, would you? But no, you're right. You're 100% right. Michael Jackson, 9/11, Kobe, all those moments. You know exactly where you were. You know what I mean? Like. I got dad brain. I can't tell you what the fuck I did yesterday. Right? those moments, those fucking moments are etched.
I'm with you there, Sweeps. I'm with you there.
They're etched, brother.
All right, worst moments. Everybody dabble now.
Yep.
All right. Nice. So, crumb of the year. And I'll give guys a couple seconds to think about it.
Man, we got a couple of them, don't we?
We got a couple of them. I actually
between Philly sports, between personal ones. I want to see what everyone has to say on this.
I've done fucking 10 million videos on crumbs. I'm gonna have to go back to the archives. Be like, who's the leader or the crumb pack?
I mean, I think one that this past month was probably the winner. Let's be honest.
Which one? Hold the phone. Hold the phone. We'll get to her.
We'll get to it.
I got a couple on deck. That's just
I know.
I like that. You add that for me. All right, I got to piss. So go ahead. We don't.
God, stop living in my bladder. Me too. I don't want to miss anything. I came late. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss anything. I see Berto doing the T sign. I mean, what's up, me?
Yeah, Berto's like, time out. Wait.
Anybody up for swords?
Hey, good thing this is virtual.
Yeah. Jesus.
Like, you with me?
That's why the studio, you scared the shit out of me. He's like, hey, go around back. Fucking pitch black. I know I'm going to get fucking snared. I'm going to get snared by a fucking little mini crocodile.
I mean, like I said, we can go funny ways between personal ones, between life. I mean,
devastated.
Hey, thank God you didn't have to deal with Chuck's dealt with in Mount Ephraim. You know, all the guy wanted to do was just go take a piss. He got freaking, you know,
he got tightened.
Tight.
He got tightened.
All this Olympic talk, I'm gonna fucking sprint to the fucking urinal. All right, I'll be right back.
Frank, who was
he was running?
Frank, who was your crumb?
My crumb goes to the NCAA and the College Football Playoff Committee because they whiffed on a huge opportunity with everything that's been going on this year. There were talks about, hey, let's expand the playoff. Games are going to get canceled. Games are going to get postponed. They had the chance to expand the playoff field to 6, maybe 8 teams, and they blew it. If this playoff committee was Jamal Murray's girlfriend, they'd be blowing it and blowing it and blowing it until it pops right off. They missed this huge opportunity to expand the playoff. This was an experiment.
Pucker up.
So yeah, not only they got some of the teams wrong, but you needed to expand it, especially in this pandemic-shortened season. A lot of teams affected by the pandemic. I think they got it. I think they got the teams wrong, and the chance to expand it.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, they butchered every goddamn year.
Absolutely.
I'll go real quick and I'll go a different route. Because I think we all know who the true crumb of the year is, but I'll just to be different, I'll go with the Philadelphia Phillies bullpen as my crumb of the year. I mean, Christ. I mean, we know they were going to be bad, but I don't think we ever expected them to be a bottom 3 bullpen in the history of the game since the friggin' merger or something crazy. One of those stats. I mean, and it really goes, to Matt Klintak. He goes part of this, but I'm sure he'll be named at some point, whether it's somebody in here or in the chat. But no, I have to go bullpen. I have to, because we've talked about it so many times during the season and since the season was over. If they were just adequate, hell, if they were just historically bad in the 2000s, we would have been a playoff team. No, they had to be historically bad, period.
Absolutely.
Forever bad. If they, and I think that I have to mention them as far as my crumbs.
I mean, you can mention, I was close to mentioning Rob Manfred. If we're going on the baseball point, I thought Manfred should be crumb of the year. Klentak definitely blowing another huge opportunity on helping the bullpen.
Pove.
I got 3. Do I have to whittle it down to 1?
you can just go with all of them. Why not?
Yeah. All right. Well, this one's going to appeal to some of our wrestling fans from our wrestling shows, but it caused me to stop watching. I haven't watched an episode of WWE since Black Wednesday, when Vince McMahon laid off over 40% of his company, so that way they could continue to hit their profit margins. Done so. Horrible, poor way to treat people that have dedicated their lives to your company during the pandemic. Terrible.
Disgusting.
Right. And I'm all elite now, and that's fine with me. I'm all good. I'm satisfied. Elite.
Be elite. Be elite.
And it's less time I actually have to watch TV, and I go delete that. That's right. And along those same lines, it's a perfect segue to my second crumb of the year, and that's the Los Angeles Lakers. For applying,
great segue.
Yeah, well, yeah, in terms of taking advantage of, or just straight up taking advantage of people during a pandemic. For those of you that have tuned into the Hockey Happy Hour, you know this story. Maybe you guys covered it on other shows, but they applied to the SBA which is a Small Business Administration, for a $4 million PPP loan. And when they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, they're like, "Oh, we discovered this error here. We're going to donate it back to the people that deserved it," trying to spin it in the positive PR. So not only did you do a scumbag thing and get caught, but it was the lamest cover-up in U.S.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. Infuriated me as an independent contractor that had to wait until almost May to get my PPP loan. So it touched home for me. Taking dinner off my food table. But number one, I got to go with a hockey dude. And it was Drew Doughty for making comments that this year would not be a real Stanley Cup and it should be an asterisk. Just because your team sucks and you're in the lower third teams of the league, right? Those players dedicated 4 months away from family to be committed to that bubble. A bubble, as I said in the beginning of the show, that equated to 0 coronavirus cases and away from family, and played in the biggest Stanley Cup tournament in the history of the Stanley Cup, 24 teams. If anything, and Chris Pronger, when we had him on, said it perfectly, all the other years should get an asterisk. Drew Doughty, absolutely on my scumbag list now. Go fuck yourself.
Great point, Pop.
Sweeps.
Whew. My goodness. I mean, so many good ones, like you said. Clintek could fall in there. I mean, he's responsible for this fucking shit show. Could we land at the U.S. Open officials, with Djokovic? I mean, like, I understand there's rules and stuff, but like, sometimes you got to be able to pay attention. You know what I mean? Like, things happen. You know what I mean? Like, I understand there's disagreements. You know what I mean? The guy barely, love tapped a tennis ball, and the lady acted like she got shot out of a cannon. You know what I mean? Like, this is the world's number one in the U.S. Open. Let's relax a little bit. So just certain things come to mind. I mentioned Dwayne Haskins last week. He might just open. He might close the year, as the biggest comeback. You know what I mean? Just a guy that, on draft day, was, hooting and hollering and everybody missed. I'm going to make the NFL pay. And I don't think the guy has a mirror in his house. All right. He sucked from day one. All right. And he's been a cancer. And then this week, or last week, excuse me, was just a pinnacle. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to go out, you got a head coach that not only the guy is a football guy, the guy's a high character guy. The guy was getting, cancer treatment during the season and showing up on Sundays and still doing his job, and you're out at strip clubs with no mask as a starting quarterback, and somehow you have a captaincy. Can't believe he was a captain, but somehow he was, and it just obviously came full circle. Then you come, you get to Sunday and you have 3 turnovers in the first half when your team's on the brink of making the playoffs, and they lose, and now they're in a must win. Against the Eagles. And it's just, like I said, he's just an absolute king, one of the king crumbs, one of the top 5 crumbs of 2020, Dwayne Haskins. And obviously they released him, and the Redskins finally cut bait, which we've been saying for forever. Like, it's instead of worry about contracts and worry about where you draft guys, it's there's time to cut bait and then there's time to hang on. You know what I mean? So good for the Washington football team. I don't want to get in trouble again by saying their name.
Well, to your point, Sweeps, man, we saw this. We saw this chink in his armor, in his personality, when he first got benched earlier this year, and then he was out with an illness, not COVID related, and the illness was officially diagnosed as being butthurt.
Well, Aaron Donald came to town. You're spot on. You know what I mean? Aaron Donald came to town and he got a little tummy ache. Got a little tum ache.
Steve, crumb of the year?
Yeah, I got a couple of them here. I got a personal one, a recent thing of a sports fan. You just have no backbone. Went to a Burger King over the past few days. Had my Eagles attire on. Was like, I shouldn't serve you. You're an Eagles fan. Well, who are you? Oh, I'm a 49ers fan. So I start laying to this kid, and he just shuts up and says anything. Now, I get it. We have a bad season. But you're an absolutely crumb of a sports fan if you're going to come at somebody for them being X-fan, and then when you're rebutted, you just shut up and turn into a turtle. No, you don't deserve to have a sports team. I don't care which team it is, which sport it is. you're in another sports town being a fan of another sports team, telling them you're not going to serve them food, and then when come back at them, you just shut up. You don't have a rebuttal outside of just giving me my order. You're a crumb of a fan. Come on. Just get out of here. Get it. That was probably my kids are in the backseat of the car laughing like, Dad, he didn't say anything. I'm like, I know he didn't say anything. It's probably the funniest thing I've ever experienced with it, just like in one of these weird settings. But as far as sports in general, I mean, we've already touched on the Phillies, parts of it. You guys said Clemson, but Middleton as it goes in general, because here we are, we're probably going to lose looks like to be JT Realmuto might walk, might not walk. We don't know what's going to go on. But the fact that we're in this conversation after you told us you're going to spend stupid money on this team, and you put this team in this position now, right? How like it just boggles my mind. We're looking at this, and you're using the pandemic as a reasoning why you can't sign who you need to sign to put your team in a position. After you told us what 2-3 years ago was the stupid money line. You're a crumb. Eat it. Get out of the city. Get out of sports. Do whatever it is you need to do. Have a nice day, Tom. Tom is yours, brother.
Wow, what a whopper, Steve.
What a whopper.
Did he change outfits?
Yes, he did. I was terrible whopper. That's unfortunate that hammerhead worked at Burger King, because I love me some Whoppers.
And no, it's funny because that's actually what I was there getting. I was getting my Whopper on. Damn right.
Yeah, you'd have to be anti-American if you didn't get a Whopper. I'd be like, that's the reason why you get heckled, not because you're an Eagles fan. I'll take a chicken sandwich. The hell you will, pussy.
Should I note the fact that both of the kids had chicken sandwiches?
Oh no!
They're kids. All right, my daughter eats chicken nuggets 24/7.
Oh man!
What's funny is that there was a predicted wardrobe change earlier in the show in the comments, and it happened. It was just who had money on Frank being it, because you're a winner.
Tom, I feel like this is a big moment now, because you do crumbs of the day. You do. Crumbs of the week.
He's got the spotlight on him.
This is a big one here.
Yeah, I have there's a few nominees for it. Obviously, the NFL has irked me, and I'm not going to run from that. I mean, they thought they could do it they thought they could do it different than everybody else. All right, but you affected teams. You affected teams' playoff positioning. You've moved for gains for certain teams, but not other teams, right? And there's a good number of other teams that you didn't cater to at all through it. And I think that's the biggest fucking joke of 2020. Like, these guys are willing to play, and guys opted out. It's not like everybody played. Half New England's defense opted out. So it's not like everybody played. These guys opted in to freaking play, and they were willing to play, and I'm glad guys decided to play, right? And you put up great protocols, etc. I get it, all right, but you didn't help teams out when it was stuff out of their control, right? And to move a game 2 days helps people. They're in a nomination for Crumb of the Year because I thought they could have did it. They could have tried to do a better job with it, and they didn't. They did not. Listen,
Tommy, real quick, give credit to baseball where they constantly shifted their schedule and thought way outside the box in comparison to football. Football did not learn from baseball or whatnot, and it really like a buddy of mine, Bobby Lou, right, talked about the greed and the money that was involved in the NFL. I'm like, no, you're crazy. And as this season went on, you really saw it in effect or whatever. What's the worst to playing in a week 18 and extending the season that way to make sure teams are safe, players are safe, right? Nah. They had to hit the marks for their schedule to be done by a certain time. Not caring about the common player, dude. I'm right on board with you.
Yeah, create another bye week. Like it's really
yeah. It's a billion dollar industry. They don't give a flying fuck. All right. I mean, where your commissioner makes $44 million a year, you gotta be fucking shitting me. All right. So you think he gives a fucking rat's ass? It's about fantasy football. It's about fucking DFS. It's about fucking Vegas making money. Vegas made $65 million in fucking November. Must be nice. All right. Nobody gives a flying fuck. They can tell you what they want. All right. Bullshit. I agree with you 1,000%. You know what I mean? All people want to tell you, not you guys, but the people on that side want to tell you, well, it's only 1%. Yeah, tell that to Carl Anthony Towns' family. Lost 7 family members. 7 died. Including his mother.
Howie Roseman, Crumb of the Year nominee. And rightfully so. He created a controversy. He created it. I mean, he didn't create Carson's poor play. He has created the controversy. He put the wheels in motion for everything that transpired. And maybe it's the right call down the road. I don't know. No crystal ball here, boys. But what I do know is it's something that could have been avoided. And if Carson played like shit, who cares? Right? Like, who cares? Then we get a higher pick and we figure out where we go from there. You know what I mean? So, Tyler, what's up, brother? They're in the crumb of the year. Steve, I heard Steve say about John Middleton. You know, John Middleton's always in this boat on a nominee just here in Philly. They're my two Philly nominees for Crumb of the Year, and my national is the NFL and Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib's up for Crumb of the Year as well. And they're my two national. And Aqib Talib just, you know, a funny meme describing like somebody just not liking his broadcast, which is fine. Everybody's got opinions, right? A little funny thing. Girl said she'd rather go through labor again than listen to it. Funny. Well, you know, he comes into an inbox and wants to call racism on it. I think that's unprofessional out of a guy that's in the booth for Fox. I watched Dan Orlovsky come in an inbox and be completely professional. And the funny thing is I watched Dan Orlovsky had the same conversation he had with me that he had with Marcus Spears yesterday. It was on ESPN where he asked Marcus Spears, well, just because you bought your wife a ring, you know, like in terms of cars, and I started dying laughing because Marcus Spears got all mad at him. It was hysterical. It was actually the first time I actually laughed at an ESPN telecast. But it was funny. But like, you know, that there's ways to handle it, and there's ways to just turn off your notifications too, bro. So I mean, if you want to go in the booth and you want to collect a paycheck in 2020 where social media, you know, flourishes and people take shots and people have fun, then you know, then you got to be able to deal with it. We're in the same market, right? In a way, like, you know, if you want to come on camera and talk your shit and talk sports, you're going to deal with trolls. You're going to deal with people taking jabs. And if you can't handle it, then you're in the wrong fucking business. Don't collect the check then.
Yeah, and not even trolls. You know what I mean? Because so the same guy that falls into that category is your boy Blake Snell. You know what I mean? He handled it better than Talib, but he was still, you know what I mean? Like once you killed him, you know what I mean? You're talking, you know, I want my $9 million when the rest of the country is in a lot of, you know, had a lot of problems going on. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the country, devastation. This guy's talking about, I want my $9 million. That's nice. You know what I mean?
I want mine. Remember? I want mine.
We want our $600 stimulus check. Hey, shut the fuck up.
I was out of work for 3 months at that point, and this guy says, I want mine. You want yours? I got something for you. So, you know, A2D speaks for the people, right? And we'll continue to speak. Blake Snell's another great Crumb of the Year nominee, even though I like Blake because he did come in and handle like a man, unlike Aqib did. You know, Dan Orlovsky got was a crumb of the day. You know, Dan didn't handle like a sissy. He came in, made his point. I agree with what he's saying to a point. I just say, don't tell me that this organization didn't put faith in Carson Wentz by giving $100 million fucking dollars. Nobody can ever tell me that. Ever. It's a lot of money. You know, that's faith in a player, no matter who you draft. So I don't give a shit about that. But Howie Roseman is a Crumb of the Year nominee for even setting that process in motion. All right? For even setting it in motion. So, you have two in the Philly sports world and then the two national. And they're the Crumb of the Year nominees. And if you had a gun to my head and I had to pick one, I don't really care enough about Aqib Talib to put him in that conversation. But I do care about the fucking NFL. And if it was my team and I had to play without wide fucking receivers, I'd be flipping out. If I had to play without a quarterback, I'd be flipping out. All right? So that's the Crumb of the Year. The NFL, I don't care that you finished. You had all the time in the world, longer than everybody else in professional sports, to figure it the fuck out. And you fully didn't figure it out. Yeah, bottom line, dollars and cents, you figured it out. Sure. But there's some fan bases you didn't. And I never dog in the fight. So I don't give a fuck. Right? It didn't affect the Eagles. It just didn't. We got lucky, but we stunk anyway. But it did affect a lot of teams. And you fucking cater to Lamar Jackson. You pussies. Okay, you cater to Lamar Jackson. You ain't cater to Denver. John Elway's a Hall of Famer. Somebody want to cater to John? Hey, John, let's respect the quarterback position a little bit. You piece of shit. Now they weren't going to make the playoffs anyway, so who cares? But I do care because the integrity of the goddamn game. Just like I care about you're gonna let a quarterback play with guys he hasn't even practiced with. Is that a fucking joke? I don't care if I like Baker Mayfield or not. I would stick up for any quarterback. That's not a fair position to put anybody in. It's a freaking disgusting. Teams fight their asses off all year for the playoffs, and you take it away. Same thing with Miami this week. You should push them back to fucking Wednesday. They should play Wednesday night so they have a backup quarterback. Fucking factual. That's how it works. You cater. Have a little fucking respect for the game. That guy just won a game for a team, and because he has COVID, he can't play Sunday. You better push it to Tuesday then and get some more tests in him, huh? Wake the fuck up, NFL. It's a joke. They should never come down to week 17 where essentially your best quarterback, if you're a Fins fan, can't play, and they ain't moving that game. They ain't touching it. It's a disgrace, and the NFL should be fined themselves. Players should if I'm a player, I'm lawsuiting all day if my team didn't make the playoffs. You took advertisement dollars away from me. You took X, A, B, C, and D. Lawsuit City. Hey, I'm here for you, NFL guys. You need an agent. I need a lawyer. I'll represent you with no degree if you want to freaking get some money back. All right? Factual. Did they sign a deal saying, if half our team can't play, we're going to have to play anyway on Sunday? Like, let me see the collective bargaining agreement that they signed then for this year. Because I doubt they signed that. I doubt they signed their lives away saying, you can give me receivers that weren't even on my team. Like, you thought the Eagles receivers last year at the end of the year were bad. The Browns said, hold my beer. Hold my beer.
It's fraud central, like you said. It's being hypocritical, and it's fraud central. You know what I mean? You want to move the Redskins game to 4:00, so it's right there with the Eagles. So there's the integrity of the game. Well, what about then? The integrity of the game has to matter for every team throughout, all the time, not just when you fucking want it to matter. NFL. All right, and I agree with you. It doesn't matter if the Broncos had a chance or whatever. You know what I mean? It does. You're playing with a goddamn fucking wide receiver, a quarterback. That's a fucking joke. Joke to the fucking sport.
Yep, big time. All right, so we can run through these quick and get out of here because it's not, they're sort of quicker ones. Best thing we saw all year. And mine's simple. Mine's just where Robbie was earlier. Was the night sports came back, essentially. That whole process of coming back was the best thing I saw all year in the sports world. You guys?
I'll go with Oscar Lindblom showing up in the playoffs and beating his cancer, his Ewing sarcoma, to the point where he could condition himself to compete against guys that had been playing hard for about a month and a half. Tremendous. Just tremendous accomplishment. It was heartwarming. My most heartwarming moment of the year for sure.
Yeah, no, I hear you, brother. That's a good one. I don't know when, like I said, this year is such a blur to when things happened and they didn't happen. You know what I mean? But like Shazier for Pittsburgh, I'm not sure when he walked on the field. If that was the beginning of this year or the end of last year, I don't know. Either way, I don't care if it was in 2019. I still want to give the guy a shout out. You know what I mean? Amazing, an amazing story, and and God bless him. He's back. He's back to being, moving around a little bit. Obviously his career's over, but our thoughts are with you there, Shazier.
He's walking.
Yep,
exactly. What do you guys got?
Go ahead, Frank.
I mean, just the return of sports. I mean, Gary Bettman setting the trend, and of course, Adam Silver following suit. I mean, Roger Goodell with a plan, even though the plan wasn't the best of plans. But hey, we got to see our National Football League back, and of course, Manfred being Manfred and all that mess that happened. But we finally got to see sports back, and we're starting to see some kind of normalcy right now. I mean, hopefully 2021 will be a lot better. Let's just hope people aren't going to be reckless.
Yeah.
I want everything back to normal.
Agreed, Frank. Well said, brother. Well said.
Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of, just so I don't double dip with the best moment with the Jordan doc, I'll just follow in Greg's suit. I'll say, seeing Tiger and his son in the same tournament, it was kind of a recent one, but still, seeing that side of Tiger and also them both playing really well. So I'll go that route.
Nice.
Again, so we don't double dip since we're going back around on this one. Olympian Clarissa Shields going to be making her MMA debut for PFL at some point in time next year. She's already Olympic gold medalist. She's already a boxing champion. Should be pretty interesting to see what the next year holds for her. So we'll see how that happens.
Right on.
Yeah. Again, we'll keep it moving. Let's go. It's right. There's such a blur. Like, best team of 2020 is to me the Dodgers.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if anybody's got a better team than the Dodgers in 2020. I mean, maybe the Lakers.
I got a different one. I actually got the Kansas City Chiefs as my team of the year.
That's where I wanted to go different. I figured you guys would probably go that way. I was going Kansas City too.
Yeah, I mean, you won the franchise's second Super Bowl. I mean, Pat Mahomes being the $500 million man, Andy Reid finally getting to lift up the trophy. The Chiefs having the best record in the NFL, a dominant rookie, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, the Chiefs, they're the team of 2020. And I thought about putting the Lakers in there. I thought about the Dodgers, but you know what? I'm just going to go with the Chiefs on this one. I'm just going to stick to football for my team of the year.
Yeah, see, I go Dodgers just because, and it's no discredit to the Chiefs, obviously. But we kind of talked about it before the season. We kind of all planned on the Dodgers being that unstoppable team. They finally were, and they finally were in the playoffs in the World Series. It's kind of like they finally put it all together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many years built up, and you just look from top to bottom. They were just unstoppable.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Down 3-1 to the Braves too. You know what I mean? So face some adversity. You know what I mean? We're in years past, and when they were down 3-1, we just kind of giggled and like, playoff Dodgers. You know what I mean? And they were obviously loaded and the best team. In the short season in the pandemic. So we knew what to expect. But when they fell down 3-1 to the Braves, we're just I just laughed, and then they obviously changed gears and did what and did what they were supposed to do. You know what I mean? So. Obviously a credit to them, and being baseball guys, obviously, we can appreciate that. You know what I mean? Even though I picked the Rays.
Same.
And the fact that they did it, they did it in a different type of season than like the Chiefs did it per se. Where the Chiefs was like a regular, everything was normal in the sporting world. So
no, like I said, I definitely give the nod to the Dodgers, but I hear what Frank's saying. Obviously, great story for Andy Reid. I mentioned him earlier. So
yeah, but it's basically, if it came down to me, was fuck LA and let's go Andy Reid.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I heard that. That's why, as we talked about the Dodgers, I probably should have put Justin Turner as a crumb of the year candidate. You know what I mean? Because I don't give a shit if you're in the, what he didn't understand or what other people don't understand. And I don't care if you're doctors. I don't care who the fuck you are. You understand? I understand you played 8 innings with your teammates, right? On the field, there's reporters, there's family members, there's kids, there's other people. Stay where you're told to stay, right? You were pulled off the field for a fucking reason. And you end up in a fucking celebration, no mask, with your fucking teammates, dude. Grow the fuck up, right? So he probably should have been there. Once you guys brought the Dodgers back, like I said, I got dad brain. Now I'm fucking jazzed up. Now I'm fucking jazzed up on Justin Turner. Fuck him even more. Fuck him twice.
All I had to do was say fuck LA.
That's it. It's like a trigger. It's like I'm back at Penn State football camp. Fucking trigger.
Back in Nam.
Oh, man.
Worst team of anybody got anything different for the best?
I'll throw Tampa Bay Lightning in there just because they made it all the way to the finals without their captain and one of their best players, and Steven Stamkos did get him back for the finals and went ahead and won the cup. But if you talk about like best team from your top player down to your worst player, defense, goaltending, I mean, my first instinct was the Chiefs, but I'll throw Tampa Bay in there, definitely.
Yeah, it's a good one. I was waiting for you, Robbie. Worst team of 2020 is easy for me. That's the Philadelphia Eagles. It's not even fucking close. So feel free to go.
I'll go a different round. Let's go the mess that is the Houston Texans. Let's not forget about that dumpster fire. We're bad, but what's going on there is they were this close to getting over the hump and just as it all implodes in 2 seasons. So yeah.
I'm going New York Jets. They couldn't even tank properly.
Mine is the same as Ryan's.
That's rigged. If he said he didn't want to go there, and as soon as he said he doesn't want to go there, they all of a sudden start winning some games. That's convenient.
Yeah.
I mean, that's convenient. Hey, NFL, stay hot, and you being in a fucking race.
How you doing, Josh Fields? How you doing? Yeah, I was gonna suggest the Jets as well. I'll throw my Mets in there too. They came in with a lot of talent, a lot of money, a former agent playing GM that was saying we're winning now, trading for Marcus Stroman. Now you had a lot of things. You didn't ask for Noah Syndergaard going on the night for Tommy John. You didn't ask for this pandemic and Marcus Stroman opting out, but you still had enough talent on there to miss the playoffs in an expanded season. I'll throw my Mets in there.
Yeah, same for the Phillies. You can throw the Phillies right in there too. Right in there too on one of the worst teams of 2020. All right, so let's go. Biggest disappointment of 2020. I mean, to me, that's Carson Wentz.
That's where I was. The 2020 Carson Wentz Eagles, however you want to put it. It started with the concussion, as you said earlier, and it just kind of continued along from there. Then the draft and everything else that followed suit with it. So, I don't know how it's not because, regardless if we felt it was a retool, regardless of what happened with the draft, what Carson showed at the end of the last few seasons has shown you why he was worth the contract. You would assume with a healthy offseason and all that it was going to continue to progress that way. It regressed completely the other way. He turned into a high school quarterback. So if the Philadelphia Eagles and Carson Wentz isn't your biggest disappointment in 2020 as a Philadelphia sports fan, I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, well, I mean, Greg, what's he trying to say? Some fuzzles?
I seen that one.
A couple bucks down there. We got this on my own personal timer. Go ahead, Rye.
I mean, I completely agree with the Carson Wentz one. I'll just add another name in there just as an honorable mention. I'll go Al Horford.
Oh,
Love it.
Part of 2020. Anybody got anything differently?
I got a different one. I'm going to go with the lack of retaliation towards the Houston Astros after the cheating scandal. I was looking forward to all the beanballs getting thrown at the Astros. We're tapping all those garbage cans, and of course, Rob Manfred having zero tolerance of any action towards the Astros. And of course, with the pandemic, the Astros basically got away scot-free. And of course, I wanted to put Manfred as my crumb of the year, but 2020 had other plans for me.
A lot of people forgot, but Joe Kelly did not.
That's right.
And thank you, Joe Kelly.
For sure. Ryan.
Yes.
So
Let me restart again. Ryan, to your point earlier about the Flyers and their lack of showing up in Game 7 against the Islanders, that had been my most disappointing moment.
Let's go one.
Sleep, did you go biggest disappointment?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he could ever steer away from Wentz. I mean, it's just been, obviously everything you guys said, it's just, it was
bad.
Yeah. I mean, it was, like you said, going into the year was, can he stay healthy? That's always been the knock on him. I mean, this was never, in their eyes, whether they're going to bullshit you or not, that pick was because, for some insurance, you know what I mean, in case he goes down, and so whether they're telling you the truth or not, and whatever, offensive line, we know the offensive line being banged up and all their struggles, and when you want to talk weapons or whatever, it's just he looked fucking lost, you know what I mean? And we tried to throw him a life vest for as long as we could, you know what I mean? And like I said, there's people that will continue to stay in the boat with him. Not saying that anybody here is out of the boat, you know what I mean? But it came to a point where we were like, dude, you got to pull the trigger. I mean, this guy is like a fucking deer in headlights, you know what I mean? So it was awful. It was awful to watch, and it was sad to watch, so and probably and non-Philly related, probably the Falcons. Not that they're anything relevant, but they got a lot of talent, and it started at the Super Bowl, and Dan Quinn finally got fucking fired, and so did the GM, and then they're still 4-11, and it's like, and nothing they can do is right, and it's just like it's just amazing to watch. Like they're a goddamn train wreck.
Right.
Every year, you talk about Groundhog's Day for them for sure. All right, biggest surprise of 2020. I would say,
I got two.
I'm going to say that my biggest surprise in 2020 was sort of what Rob said, but a different thing. And when he was talking about the Mets, but I'm going to do it in the Phillies, is that an expanded playoff and they didn't get in. Like, that's a big surprise to me. Like, I thought that they were guaranteed to walk in at worst the last spot, right? And that was the biggest surprise. And I know a lot of people are going to go biggest surprise in good things. I'm going to go biggest surprise in bad things when I'm staying here with Philly.
Yeah, I'll also go. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it could eventually be a good thing, but right now it's not a good thing. My biggest surprise of 2020 was the Eagles drafting a quarterback in the second round of the draft.
Yeah, rightfully so. The Sixers getting Doc Rivers, big surprise in 2020. Well, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect Doc coming here. So.
Yeah, for me, maybe the Flyers. I mean, obviously, I don't want to speak Pove's language, but I thought they might have been a year early. You know what I mean? And you can tell me that or not. You know what I mean? I was not being a monster hockey guy like yourself. I just, I felt like, to be there was a point where they were the best team in the league. You know what I mean? Whether it was a bubble, whether it was a short season or not, they were playing. They had glimpses. They had moments of being the best team in the league for a long stretch there. And to me, that was. A surprise, not a knock, just a welcome surprise, I should say.
A glimpse into the future and what you could see this team being ultimately capable of on an 82-game basis during that stretch. You're going to have your ups and downs, but they showed the resiliency. So that's characteristic of them. But it was a surprise for me too, Sweeps, especially culminating in them getting that number one seed and all the hype that surrounded that. It's something you couldn't live up to. But it was a surprise because I think the biggest surprise was it sucked me in. It fucking sucked me in, man. I was like, let's go. We're lifting the cup. We're lifting up the cup. Tractor beam, absolutely. And I'm getting the all orange jumpsuit and going down the broad, totally, secure from the pandemic. Let's lift the cup.
And I guess I'll go here. Like, I guess my biggest surprise, I get a two-pronged one. Kind of piggybacking off Tom, he said the Phillies not making the playoffs. The other surprising thing was the freaking Miami Marlins making the playoffs. Nothing. Yeah. I got nothing for you guys. It's just
Especially with all they went through, they were the most ravaged team in MLB. Maybe second to the Cardinals. Your team got hit up pretty good there too, Sweepsy. But Marlins, they had 56 different players on their active roster, 14, 15 different pitchers. And Don Mattingly did a fabulous job.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not just the playoffs, Steve. They won a playoff series against the Cubs.
Yeah.
And then I guess the positive surprise was the ascension of Josh Allen. You know, we could say a lot of things about him, but what he's done so far this season, you got to tip your cap to him. If you told me at the end of the 17th season that Josh Allen would have swapped places with Carson Wentz by the end of the 2020 season, I would have took that bet right then and there.
That's a great point.
But it's like literally it's night and day between these two guys, where everyone thought that Josh Allen was this project. He was going to be like the next David Craig. He was just going to be someone who never really amounted to the hype that he was. And he pretty much almost put him this season, put him in that top 10 category.
Yes,
his accuracy
as a guy that drafted him and won my league. Not going to say I had a crystal ball, but I agree with you. You know what I mean? I did not expect this kind of year. You know what I mean? I'm Josh Allen guy, but I would not tell you that he was going to have this kind of year. Unbelievable.
Funny what happens when you get a guy number one. Frank?
My big surprise this year, I'm going to go into college football, Indiana football. I mean, they definitely surprised a lot of people. You know, when you think of Indiana football in recent years, you think of a team that's usually doing not so well in the Big Ten, but, you know, it all began with an upset of Penn State, where I think Penix was short, but they somehow rode that momentum to their highest ever ranking of 7 in the AP and coaches poll. You know, really surprising a lot of people during this season. So Indiana is definitely up there for me.
For sure.
Absolutely. That's a good one, dude. You know, took Ohio State's Beck's punch and
exactly.
Came back and had a shot in that game.
I like Greg's comment, the UFC going every weekend since June. Yeah, you have to take your hats off to that, considering everything that was going on.
that was his stance all along, and I understand that. Me and Tom used to fucking throw fucking darts at him. I understand it's a one-on-one thing. You know what I mean? He was trying to compare it to the NFL, where there's 53 plus about another fucking 30 fucking tomato cans in a traveling party. You understand? Like, it just wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean? So don't you dare give Greg any credit. And I'm glad he's still listening.
Oh no!
And we lost him mid-rant.
Greg got him.
Greg was like, no.
He got dragged into the hot tub.
Coach of the year? Fucking Christ. Andy Reid.
Yeah.
I'll give that one to Andy.
I mean, that was unless you're gonna throw Debo some love. Dabo Smith.
Dabo Swinney.
Yeah, that's what. Why did I say Smith? Brain fart, getting old, one of the two. I don't know.
I'm gonna go a different one other than Andy Reid. Still in the NFL. I'm gonna go with the Bills head coach. I'm gonna go Sean McDermott. But that guy has done. I mean, not only just in 2020, ever since he's gotten there, you know, led him. Obviously, that entire team. I mean, that entire team is now a force, and it's led by him. And they went from a team that was playing second, probably third fiddle, you know, to the Patriots in that division. Now they're the force of that division, and they have a legitimate shot to not only get to the Super Bowl, but possibly win it.
Yep, go on. You guys got any?
I talked about Mattingly before. I think he's up there getting the Marlins team. You know what's funny is both of mine are in Miami. Mattingly and Brian Flores. What he's done with the Dolphins this year and being able to pull that trigger and treat Fitzmagic as like your closer when you need to go down the field instead of the dink and dunk that Tua was doing, what the situation called for. He's pushed all the right buttons, and he's shown that there's been a few unsuccessful, you know, coaches from that Belichick tree of recent since McVay. Flores, I think, is bringing that stock back up.
Stay in Miami with Eric Spoelstra, too. Another tremendous coaching job with the Heat, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What a year for them. But yeah, you'll get no argument from obviously from Flores from me. I agree with you. You know what I mean? And almost like the guy, almost like he stepped in shit this week. You know what I mean? Because apparently, you know, he made that announcement that night. You know what I mean? And where if he would have said, "Oh, Fitzy's our guy," which that's the right move. All right, common sense would tell you go with Fitzy in week 17. A fucking veteran gives you your best chance to win. He didn't. He said Tua. All of a sudden, Fitzy's out there sucking face with somebody with COVID, gets COVID, and now to his feelings, he won't be up in his feelings because I already named you starter. You know what I mean? So now we need you to find a fucking way to get us to the finish line, which you're not going to do. So nice year, Dolphins. See you in 2021. I'll still have my gear on. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
All right. Everybody went on that one?
I did not.
Hit us.
My pick, I'm actually going to stick to college football this time. I'm going to go with Jamie Chadwell, the head coach of the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. Early this season, before college football kicked off, Coastal Carolina was predicted to finish last in the Sun Belt Conference. The worst conference in college football, dead last. This guy took Coastal Carolina to an unprecedented run, finishing ninth, making it all the way ninth overall in the country. Although it ended on a dud against Greg's Liberty, what he did for Coastal Carolina put them on the map this year, and he got a well-deserved 7-year extension, keeping him at Coastal Carolina for another 7 years. So, congrats to Mr. Chadwell.
I know it was a truncated season, but what was their overall record?
They finished 11-1.
Damn, yeah, that's a good nominee. Okay, that's a good.
They went undefeated. They were supposed to play in their conference championship game, but unfortunately that got canceled. They were supposed to face against Louisiana Lafayette, but all played one side. And had it been played, I would believe they would have won and maybe could have shaken a lot more in that playoff pick.
Yeah, huge win. Yeah, huge win against BYU. And I hear you. Great year to be a Coastal person. Dustin Johnson, Brodo knows. Dustin Johnson.
I almost went there. I almost went to Coastal.
I did not know that, but I was going to just give you the old golf reference. Dustin Johnson, green jacket. Good year to be a chant.
Yeah.
Player of the year. This one's. I'm gonna go with Josh Allen actually in this one. Unlike I could go like Mahomes went a chip in 2020, but you know what I mean. Like that whole body of work was more 2019. So I'm not gonna go him. So Josh Allen's a good one to go with this one because I think nobody would expect it. We talked about it earlier, so he'd be my.
Yeah, that's where I'm. The direction I'm going at. I'm an ascending star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not somebody who's already made their name. Like we're gonna probably hear a lot of Mahomes and some of these guys. And I want to go a little bit different. I'm glad you picked Josh Allen because I think he, as much as Belichick wants to downplay who he's played and that he's not had an MVP type season is malarkey. But anyways, going back to the Flyers, man, we have to realize we have a legit superstar between the pipes. And Carter Hart, he is my player of the year. He put that team on his back. He's the reason they were in the playoffs. He's the reason they had the run that they had. And I've been so critical of the Flyers so much over the past 10 years, and they got it right for once. They got the star, build around this kid, get a couple cups, and enjoy it.
I love it. All right, let's fly through these, boys.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead, Pove.
Real quick, just because he talked about Allen versus Mahomes, I'll stick up for Mahomes. Statistically, actually had a better 2020 than he had in 2019. And some of the football moves he does is things you do not teach your kids how to do on the football field, and he pulls them off time after time. I had him for fantasy. Him and Kelsey Roby, darn near towards the end. Actually, probably would have needed a little more from Miles in Week 16. But Mahomes, he just takes it to another level each and every game.
Miles. And yeah, I mean, I expected it from Mahomes, but it doesn't take away from how special he is. I mean, he didn't knock for it either because we expect him to be special. You know what I mean? That's also not fair. I just would never expect Josh Allen to do shit. What do you got, Ryan?
I agree.
Yeah, I'm also going Mahomes. He won a Super Bowl, got paid, and he only lost once in the entire year.
Yeah. Hard to run from fucking that.
Another sport.
I'll go different. I mean, I agree with all you guys. I'll go Corey Seager. Obviously they were able to get a World Series, long awaited, World Series, and he was, arguably their best player all year in a pandemic season, and he carried them in the playoffs.
I'm going to stick to baseball, and I'm going to go with Freddie Freeman, the National League MVP. Began 2020 fighting this virus, and he overcame the odds. Probably one of his best seasons. Well-deserved NL MVP. As much as I despise the Atlanta Braves, he overcame the odds, and he got it, and he got himself an MVP for it.
It's a great one, Frank. Love me some fucking Freddie Freeman.
Yeah,
and it's interesting. Nobody says Aaron Rodgers, who may be your NFL MVP.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he should be. Yeah, he absolutely should be.
True, Rob.
He's just such a fucking cocksucker that you don't want to mention him.
Exactly.
He's fantastic. He's absolutely fantastic.
We call Rodgers the cocksucker, but Brady's the freaking prissy little punk that won't shake people's hands.
Not me, brother. Not me. That's Greg. Fuck Brady too.
Greg again. All right. Upset of the year and comeback of the year. Our final two. Wrap this little round table piece up.
I'll go.
We got a couple one from both like hockey, baseball. Like there's a bunch of upsets. But I guess the one I'll go to, considering how the NFL was catering to Mr. Lamar Jackson, was how they choked that number one seed away, and the freaking Titans came in and ran the ball down their throats. So I would take that as my upset of the year. Thank you very much.
I look forward to it every year. It's like death, taxes, and Lamar losing in the first round. I love it.
I'll go to the NBA playoffs. I'll say my upset of the year is the Miami Heat beating the Bucks in 5 games.
Oh yeah, I mean beating them was beating.
Yeah, not even just winning. Yeah, like you said,
smashing them.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll stay in that state. I mean the Marlins, obviously. Beating the mighty Cubs.
Yep.
Mine, I'm going to go with the Jets beating the Rams. When you tank so poorly, you upset the Rams. Nobody saw that coming.
Then you win the next week.
My upset of 2020 is a little different than you guys. I'm staying at home, and I'm staying at Carson Wentz getting concussed in the first quarter of the game against Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I just would like to know what would have happened, and I call it an upset because I'm upset. You know what I mean? It made me upset. So I'm putting it in an upset because I don't know. I mean, I feel like we win that game. I feel like we scored more than 17 fucking points. So, I'm putting it in my upset of the year. I don't have I don't have a personal upset because I don't give a fuck about national bullshit.
Well, the upset was the loss, man. The end.
Yeah, it wasn't even an upset. I mean, we were at home. But, I mean, it's just an upset because, it created a whole bunch of shit. So, comeback of the year.
Pove, did you do upset?
I could go right now because it's actually the same for both. It's Dallas Stars against the Colorado Avalanche. You could say throughout the whole playoffs, getting all the way to the finals was an upset. Nobody had the Dallas Stars making it there. But to defeat a team, albeit hurt, banged up, but to defeat the Colorado Avalanche with still a lot of their main stars in play and to come back and do it in overtime in Game 7, it was phenomenal.
Yeah, Robbie, spot on. A comeback of the year.
Jamal Murray's girlfriend. There's a comeback story right there.
No. Was he had nothing under the button down? That's phenomenal. What great chest hair. Great job, Frank. Great job. Way to sell it, baby. No better
but on a serious note, for my comeback of the year, I'm actually going to go with Oscar Lindblom. Overcoming Ewing sarcoma. I personally, for me, I knew somebody who passed away from this terrible disease. To see somebody make this come back to the playoffs, and hearing all the reports where the process of recovering has been going so well, and possibly him making a debut later in 2021. It's pretty exciting. So I'm going to go with Oscar Lindblom as my comeback of the year.
Molly, get out of my way, please, Molly. It's absolutely Alex Smith. I mean, Lindblom's right in there too.
Yeah, I mean, you actually can two-part this one too. Like, I think a lot of us are going to agree with this. Alex Smith / Ron Rivera, that two-part story in 2020 has to be the story of the year. Yeah, Alex Smith,
come in and beat us Sunday. Come in and bend us over Sunday,
please, please. Because adding on to that, if we end this year with the Dallas Cowboys winning this division, forget about it. I will burn 2020 out of my memory in any way possible. Electric shock therapy, whatever you got to do. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear no hat rule inside Lincoln Financial Field. Don't want to hear about it. You don't have the right. You didn't play well enough all season to sit there and tell me no hats in your stadium. I don't want to hear about it. Dallas Cowboys cannot win this freaking division. Please, let's go, Ron Rivera. I don't care if Alex Smith is you're dragging him out there with a leg. Give him a peg leg. Give him something, man. We cannot happen. Cannot.
Of course it can.
No, it cannot.
Mathematically speaking.
Back to the
yeah.
Oh yeah, me. I'm gonna go real quick. Is the Maple Leafs make Robbie another hockey reference? All right, down 3-0 with 4 minutes to go, forced overtime to get to a game 5. Incredible, absolutely incredible. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Changed the channel, came back at 3-3. What the hell happened? What happened?
They showed me something, and watch out for them in this season. They're a sleeper team for me.
All right, boys.
Well, I'll add it real quick. I'll go real quick. My comeback player of the year, I'll go Nelson Aguilar.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just because the top 2 were taken, so I'll go Nelson.
Yeah. Misused and absolutely tremendous year out of him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Good names, good lists, everybody.
I'll continue. Yeah, listen, I'll continue that thread on the way out. As throwing salt in wounds, like Brodo just did. Ozuna for the Braves. Right, took an absolute shit for the Cardinals for 2 years. Put it right in my fucking bum, prison style. And then, absolutely, fucking had himself an MVP year with the Braves. So appreciate you, Marcel.
His OPS and weighted runs scored created was just phenomenal.
Like you said, it
was a 1-2.
He wasn't even talked about, but I mean, because you play on a team with Freddie Freeman, who deserved it.
Right.
But Marcel Ozuna was awesome. Right. Awesome.
Yeah, he was. All right, family. Wish you all a happy New Year. We thank you guys for joining us tonight. And we thank our doc for sponsoring every show, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. For Tom Arnone, Rob Povia, Ryan Brodo, Frank Vespi, Steve Rochelle, Sweeps in the house, Cromer came in the house. Everybody out there that joined us, listen, Happy New Year. Ring it in right. Let's get 2020 the fuck out of here. And pray for better things in 2021. We wish everybody a safe and happy New Year. And if you are out and about, floating around, just be safe getting home. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. The internet went out. Hey, Happy New Year. Listen, all you guys did a great job this year. I don't know if Tommy said it. I went out. My internet's been out 36 times. It's a fucking record. So I love the ribbing that Brodo's give me. And, like I said, I deserve it. All right. But if it wasn't said, tremendous job to every single fucking one of you guys. All right. In a pandemic, no sports, interview series. Unbelievable. I just listen. I'm happy to be a part of it. I know that's cliche and it sounds fucking corny, but listen, Uncle Sweeps is old. I do it as a hobby. That doesn't take away anything from the professionals, which are you guys. And I fucking love every one of you. And I think amazing job by every one of you. Cheers. Little fireball. Happy New Year. Be safe.
Cheers it up. Cheers it up. Love you guys. Sweep takes the words right out of my mouth. Well done. I need a good PR guy every once in a while. And nobody better in the business. Nobody better in the business than you guys. Every show on A2D. I think we spent 4 days after everything happened, and we had shows running within 4 days. So fuck you, 2020.
Listen, the only company to get better. All right, and that's a credit to the guy at the top. That's a credit to everybody that worked hard underneath them. the only fucking company. Now, there might be some other companies. I'm not going to fucking Google anybody. But the only company to get better in a pandemic.
Yep.
All right, the studio misses this, but we've A2D's got fucking better.
Amen.
Facts. Well said. Enjoy a little best of our 2020 video here on the way out. Love y'all. Take care. And let's go 2021. By the way, let's go fucking Sixers. We out.
Let's go.
What's up, family? This is AM and the PM, only on A2D radio, and you know I can strongly say to the people, and I'm pretty confident saying this, maybe the last in-studio show for a while, the NBA officially shut down as of minutes ago.
Feet left. What?
Fucking go! I'm done! Fucking go with this!
What? What is going on?
I cannot believe this shit, bro.
Pack your bags now, Howie. If that's your pick. If that's your pick, pack your bags. Disgusting. Ooh, Howie ain't gonna miss. Howie don't. And this is Howie, guys.
Really fucking hurts?
More than she already is.
Oh, and she destroyed. What the hell is this?
Oh yeah! What the hell? What the hell was that? What the fuck is going on here?
The only thing I can do is go drown myself now because I lost. There's no way.
Balls. Oh, he's got a hold it. He's moving a little too fast. Oh, he punched through. Good dive. I'm sure he's not hurt. He really punched through. Right. All right. Me nervous too, Diane. I didn't see him come up to the water, and I thought maybe I was wrong for a minute, but you can see the way he punched through, and I'm sure we'll see it in slow motion. Now he falls. This is what gives him the control. Now you see what he does right here. He kicks through, and that's what got him down safely.
There's Blake.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You see that dog? You see Cutter?
So, Ben, help me out. Just shoot the ball. Work on what you're not good at and come back and help this city out. If not, take you and your sister that's always on Twitter that got something to say about my city and get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
I told you they loved them. I told you they loved them. You thought it was smoke and mirrors, Tom. I told you they loved them.
The gadget toy. We got a little spinner. We were looking for a PlayStation 5. We got a fucking spinner around. That's what we came in here. Wait all this time for.
Here we go. Here we go! Daddy!
What's up, fam? Welcome to A2D Radio.
And he missed
it. You missed it. Do you believe this shit?
Missed it. That's, you know what that's for? That's for the guy that said, "Yeah, looks like go screw Wilson." Fucking moron. Good work, buddy. Mush that one, didn't you? Fuck. Woo, woo, woo. Oh my God. Old mush mouth.
Matt, you know what you need to do one night though? Like down the road, you just need to come sleep over one night again. Like not like sexual family, you know.
If I get 5 women and they're all in the same room with me, we're going at it at 110%.
I'm in a warehouse at UPS 50, 60 hours a week, so you blow me out of the water.
You're in a whorehouse?
Warehouse.
Oh, warehouse.
A warehouse. I work at UPS.
Who wants to make a damn play up front?
There we go.
There
we go. Got him. Is that BG? Is that BG? 2020s, buddy. They got the best turfs around. Ain't gonna be.
And there's DK Metcalf up the seam, and he's gone. He's gone.
There was nobody around him. I don't know who was supposed to be covering him. But DK Metcalf is gone.
People say man's unrealistic.
Frank Vespi of the Fix and the Peace. Oh my God!
Oh.
What the fuck are you wearing, Frank?
I love it because every time you do it, I don't even know if you know you're doing it. You do the duck lips. You're like,
Oh my goodness.
I love it, man. I love being here. It's fucking awesome. I'm a little passionate right now. It's beautiful. It's fucking August. It's August playoff hockey. Fucking crack it like Will Ferrell. Let's go.
Jake, you want triple dick for
In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark